Oh, I need to go set up posting for y'all too.
Hey everybody, welcome to Fresh Out the Box. Plays Down We Go. I am the usual Game Master, Johananon.
And I'm the co-host, Casualty CDG. I'm a retired child crimes and human trafficking detective turned tabletop titan and improv comedian. And I'm happy to introduce today friend of the show and over from Plus One EXP, Tony Vicinda.
Tony Vicinda, I'm Chief Alchemist over at Plus One EXP. We're a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard, and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. And I am our guest GM tonight. I'm going to be running Down We Go, and we're going to be running the Bog Pamphlet Adventure by Jeremy Gage. This is actually the first time it's going to get run, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. You can find everything we do at Plus One EXP, and if you're watching the stream now or later, you should go to ttrpg.link/DWG/fresh. Wait, not /fresh. ttrpg.link/DWG/fresh. No slash in the middle of DWG and fresh. It'll be in the links. Links will be there. You can click on them and check out Down We Go, the game we're going to be playing.
And then this is Dan. Dan, go ahead and introduce yourself to the fine people.
Hi, I'm Dan. I go by DM Wilson as my pen name. I'm one half of Planar Compass. We make weird little zines. Our flagship zine is a third-party zine for Old School Essentials. And we just put out our first zine, not by our team. It's Moon Elves by Mike. And it's now available on Four Rogues and just sold out Noble Knight as soon as it went live. But we got more coming to Spearwitch soon, so check that out.
That's very exciting. Congratulations.
And also, this is Dan's first time playing Down We Go, but Dan has also written content for Down We Go also, too.
Yes.
So
into the system.
Yeah. So Dan and Sarah, I think it was at $7,000 unlocked planar possibilities, which is the concept of how we handle the planar system within the Down We Go infrastructure. And so I'm super excited to unleash some of that once the campaign is done also too.
I thought you were going to say you're going to unleash some of that tonight. I was like, oh, dip.
You know what? I thought about it because there's enough draft material in there that I probably could have pulled something together. But I found enough horror and other things for y'all, without that. So I think
that's okay. We always lean towards comedy and horror. So the more gruesome, the better.
Yeah.
I can't help it. And I think there's something wrong with me.
I think the planes that Dan and Sarah have created are pretty excellent. Dan, do you want to sample a couple of those planes?
Yeah, we've got. Well, it's kind of a procedural engine, so it's designed so that you mix and match different pieces. So you'll get a type of portal with a type of plane, and then the type of weather, and then the type of people that are there. So I tried to come up with some interesting elemental planes. There's the elemental plane flesh. I think one of the other team members recommended the elemental plane of salt. We of course have non-Euclidean planes if you want to experience some eldritch horrors. We have two-dimensional plane on the other side of it.
No.
That's
You get a little flat world action going, and so
I think it'll be fun.
yeah. I'm super excited. Yeah, it is that perfect mix that I feel like Dowie Go does a lot of like dark psychedelic themes, which means it leans really easily into comedy while also letting you lean heavy and dark if you want to. So I'm a big fan of the vibes y'all pulled out from that and worked into it. But anything else we need to do before I just start running? I guess I was just going to take over because I'm used to being.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, you can take over. The only no, I don't think we have any. Do you have anything, Gary?
No.
Good
no,
to go. I'm excited to play Down We Go. Links are all in the chat, and enjoy.
For a guy who has a giant 3-story expanding dice box, I only found 1d6. That's my issue over here. Is I'm looking for another one.
You should only need 1d6 unless you drop it on the ground and die gruesomely in the process.
I love that
no.
rule. That's so funny.
I
I got a
really
nice
don't
trick.
like the foreshadowing there.
Um,
If I drop a d6 and die during this stream, somebody investigate Tony.
So the Down We Go is a minimalist rules light system. The core rules fit on one page. All the extra content you've heard us talking about, those are all extra procedures the GM can use to help flesh out the campaign. And one of the best things about it, you can basically roll through a campaign. You don't need a ton of prep or setup. I actually forgot to do mine, so normally the GM wouldn't be rolling dice at all. I am going to be because I didn't roll them in advance to set up some of the different pieces that we're going to be going through in this, but I am very, very excited about the space we're going to be entering into and giving the bog its first run through. I did roll 1d4 in advance to find out what version of the bog, because every dungeon we go into, just like the districts of the city of Infernopolis that the game is set around, each have adjectives that describe them. So there were ones like the Harvester or the Witch's Bog. We ended up with the Bone Turner's Bog. So I will give a little bit of a caution warning. There will be, I would say, not mild body horror, probably moderate body horror stuff worked in. I'm not a super grotesque or descriptive GM when it comes to those types of things. So I don't think that when I say moderate, it's not going to be like incredibly detailed unless somebody starts asking me probing questions. It'll be more so that there's just a lot of it. And so, because we are going into the Bone Turner's Bog Pit. And so I'm very excited to take you into it. With that said, we also are going to figure out which one of the different factions in the city hired you, and then we'll kind of get started. Can somebody roll a D10 for me?
Oh, I got one. Let me do the
Hit me
honors.
with that D10 roll. We're going to figure out what faction hired you, and that's basically going to give us
7.
everything we need to figure this out. So not the Steeple Gardeners, not the Dirt Lickers, not the Sewer Guild, not the Froth Harkers, the Inkrights. The Inkrights have hired you. The Inkrights are interested in turning the immaterial, thoughts, hopes, and demands into the material. Books, tattoos, contracts. It's their sacred work, and the Inkrights are sworn to perform it dutifully. They mix and sell ink, apply it permanently to skin, and maintain a library of example contracts. Things that they might be commonly found doing is mixing ink, witnessing to an agreement, applying ink to flesh. They might send adventurers to find ink ingredients, peel a tattoo from somebody who didn't pay for it, or slay creature whose skin makes vellum. Their symbol is a quill dripping ink. Let's meet each of your characters a little bit, and let's figure and go ahead and tell me as you're doing this. And the answer can be no. if you have had any dealings in the past with the Inkrights before this moment.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and kick it off. I am a holy man, follower of the one above all. My name is Samir, and I'm like I feel like more of a cleric than a paladin, but I am not above smiting down the enemies of my god. I have not worked with the Inkrights.
Gary, you want to go next?
Oh, sure, absolutely. So I'm playing a bloodthirster, but instead of playing a barbarian, I'm actually going to play the son of a noble lord who is out in his father's stead to keep the family name alive as a monster slayer. I don't have a name yet. Let me give myself a real terrible name. Like, what do you think, Jahan? What's something that you just want him to die? Just like Gage,
Keith.
Keith.
It was voted the most unattractive male name, I think. So,
see, this is why we're friends. I love that you know things like this. I'll be Keith.
Okay, Keith. That horrible name, Keith. Keith rhymes with "want to punch him in the teeth," and so.
Keith.
Tell me, have you or your family had any dealings with the Inkrights?
My family most certainly has. This is my first time to come work with the Inkrights. But my father and his father before him have deep ties in the Inkrights.
Tell me something that the Inkrights witnessed for your family, for your grandfather.
So it goes very far back to like secret society type of stuff with my family, meetings, late at night, clandestine things with robes where, black hooded veiled in the dark. So a lot of the things haven't been exposed to me or taught to me yet, but I've seen the signs growing up.
And do the Inkrights, are they the ones who like, as someone enters into this clandestine society, the Inkrights witness that commitment?
Yes.
Is there a mark placed upon the flesh that seals that?
Most certainly, right? That seems proper.
What does that symbol look like?
Let's go with a sewn, like a sewn quill of a feather without the actual feather parts, just kind of the spine of a feather, sewn into the flesh.
Interesting. All right. Dan, tell us about your character.
He is Balthazar. He is a mystic. He's kind of a scraggly older dude, a very long pointed beard, kind of old faded blue robes and a conical blue hat with stars and moons and stuff on it. He's got kind of long fingernails, and his hands are stained from like blue and red and powders and stuff. He's definitely interacted with the Inkrights. I'm going to say he's tried many times to join them, and they're not interested in him.
Oh.
Respectfully.
What bars him from entry? What is it about him that has offended him so?
I'm going to guess they view his academic prowess as probably not being up to snuff, and perhaps his social skills are not to their liking.
Awesome. Do you think your character often has ended up as like a gopher in these kind of situations, specifically to try to curry favor? Like,
oh, totally.
You're like hounding them. You're like, come on, I can do something for you. Let me. Okay, awesome. Like maybe you can decide the energy, but there's an enthusiasm to come back over and over again.
Like a very aggressive roadie to a band.
What we see is, and we'll discover how you got here in just a second. But we enter in on the three of you, pushing your way through what starts as river and then eventually becomes swamp and then eventually becomes thicker and thicker until you find yourselves in a very small boat, pushing your way through with there's this lantern that's built into the end of it that casts this kind of greenish bluish light across the area around you. It is daylight around you, but this area you found yourself in, the trees have grown dense, and the sky has grown dark above, and it's almost as if the sun does not shine in this particular part. It's hard to even tell exactly how the colors around you run, because the light cast off by that lantern seems to tint everything into this eerie, garish color. As we see the three of you kind of in this boat, you push and you push until you make your way next to a wooden dock that kind of erupts roughly out of the ground in the middle of nowhere, outside a series of what look almost like teeth erupting from the ground, but it's really a series of stalagmites and stalactites that also are lined on either side by a set of holes. And you find yourself on the dock on the edge of the Bone Turner's Bog. But let's find out how you got there specifically. So the day before in the city, you were each summoned to the headquarters of the Inkrights. You were each asked to come there. And if you want to establish any ties with each other beforehand, that's fine. If you want to be randos and not know each other, that's fine. We can do that as we go through, but certainly be thinking about that. Because they are looking for someone to retrieve something specific for them, and you were each told there was a job. And Dan, your character was certainly probably like they were going to get the other two, and when the messenger left with the notes, you're like, I can come, I can help also, right? Like you were waiting, you were prepared, you knew this meeting was going to happen. Gary, for Keith, there's a level of formality around this. Like, your father actually brings you the missive and tells you need to go see the Inkrights. It's less of a request and more of a command. Johananan, where did they find Samir at?
They might have come across me. I'm a traveling preacher, searching the world, trying to do good work and spread the word.
So you've recently come to town, and they've found you in the Temple District. They've heard of you recently arriving, and there's actually a few runners who get sent out to find you. The youngest one of the group happens to make his way to the Temple District and finds you very quickly, and will lead you back towards the Inkrights headquarters. Gary, tell me a physical detail about what the Inkright headquarters look like.
So I think the Inkright quarters in my mind have it's a tall headquarters, a dark building with long banners along the sides that are kind of they're purple banners with a white Inkright logo, like an inkwell with a feather coming out of the top, and they both kind of face opposite ways away from the door.
Excellent. What does it smell like in the area, Johananan, as you draw close? Like, what are these kind of arcane and alchemical presses that they run to make inks out of all kinds of materials? What kind of smell does that cast up into the air?
I imagine definitely like that dye smell, but also like chemicals and maybe ammonia.
Awesome. And then Dan, what is the noise you hear in the background as you wait outside for the other people in this party to arrive so that they will let the three of you in?
I would say there's probably like a deafening sound of bubbling and like random shoots of steam going off.
I love it.
As pressure's released.
Yeah, maybe we even see pipes running by, some of them brass, some of them clear, some of them black, as inks kind of run around the rimming of the building, making their way from one end to the other, and we hear them kind of bubble through as pressure and chemicals are kind of released off into the air. You're brought into this tower, and you see there's a gentleman who opens the door who appears to have like black stained lips, as if he has been absent-mindedly kind of dotting a pen in his mouth over and over again, but it's so black and so dark that you can't even see teeth, as if he had been doing this for years. The light just kind of disappears into the depths of his mouth, and he says, finally you've all arrived, please come in. And you're kind of taken up and ushered step after step after step up to the very top of the building, and you can look out over the entirety of Infernopolis. There's not a lot of places in the city where you can get this kind of view. There's a number of maps laid out in the area, and it looks like they've partnered. There's a number of cartographers in the room who are drawing what looks like different versions of the city over and over again as it shifts to try to create the most up-to-date map that they can, as the city of Infernopolis constantly changes. And the gentleman who greeted you at the door turns to you and points off in the distance, and you see this dark, kind of scarred area on the land. It looks more than anything else almost like a festering wound amid the trees. It says, "There in the distance lies the Bone Turner's Bog. There are flowers there that would make the most delightfully pressed pages."
You see, that bog looks quite far away, chap, and quite dangerous. I think maybe we just stay here and send a florist to pick the boutique and bring it back. Maybe something with an inn is more our speed.
Well, we could do that, except for there's a number of creatures who are around them that I think the average florist wouldn't be able to deal with. And so we thought someone with a little bit more might be helpful as he looks at you. And wisdom might be helpful as he looks at Samir, and eagerness might be helpful as he looks at Balthazar. We thought those might be helpful traits, more so than just simply floral knowledge. I'm sure it won't be a problem for you to retrieve the flowers, but the creatures around them can be quite challenging. And then, of course, the Bone Turner himself doesn't always take kindly to those who want them. As a separate personal favor, the dirt there, the earth itself, it makes the most beautiful crimson inks. We've never found anything quite like it, and it would be so delightful if you could bring a few pounds back for us to press in.
When you summon someone of my stature, I thought for sure you'd have us doing something more important than collecting flowers and dirt.
Well, you may feel that way, but the city doesn't map itself. And if you ever intend to get the mark, you might want to consider this favor a little bit more intentionally.
Tell me about this Bone Turner.
The Bone Turner. Well, there are many rumors around the Bone Turner. Johannanon, tell me one rumor as you've been in the city, as somebody from outside the city, rather. What's a rumor that you've heard about the Bone Turner from afar?
I've heard that they send their minions into the city at night to steal away the helpless, to add to their flesh piles.
He recounts that to you. So, and then, he's made allies over the years. There's also the concern about the thing that stalks. Gary, there is, you have heard a rumor that a metallic creature stalks the area around the bog. What rumors have you heard about this metallic creature?
They say that damned creature comes out of the mines all covered in silver dust and slides down your chimney in the night. They said it gets up to all kinds of nefarious activity. Anything from theft to murder.
Yes. Now, I will say there's all those challenges. Why we needed gentlemen of your caliber, but more so, I also know that there are other items of value within the bog that you might find, let's just say, interesting. And he looks at Balthazar. Balthazar, there's a secret object deep within the bog that you have wanted for years, that you have heard rumors of. What is it, and why do you want it?
Yes, it should be noted that Archmagus' crystal lies within the bog, and whoever has it can see to the most distant places of the land.
Nice.
So he recounts all this to you and says, it's certainly for some of you, and he kind of looks at Keith. There's no complications if you decide to pass on this task. We would totally understand. It's not for the faint of heart. But again, this is the party that that the writing was kind of on the wall as far as us thinking would be the most successful.
It's not that I'm faint of heart. It's that I thought I'd do something more adventurous on my first adventure. Bringing someone along of such repute as myself, really I thought would be something legendary, not just a flower collecting mission.
Well, I mean, you did say it's your first adventure, correct?
Yes, but I come from a long line of adventurers.
Right. So what repute do you propose to have then?
Perhaps you haven't heard of my last name or my lineage.
I have. I just haven't heard of your first name.
Oh, perhaps I forgot to mention. My name is Keith.
Keith.
Right, and your father thought this would be an excellent place for you to begin.
Right, we're just used to beginning at the top, so to speak.
Humility
again,
is a sign of the wise, Keith.
Right, that sounds like some kind of mumbo jumbo to me.
I think that if we just need someone to swing a sword, we could just go to the tavern and hire a drunk. This is not critical for what we need.
Now we're talking. This young man seems to have the right idea. I'll just kick up my feet and the rest of you finish up work, and I'll wait here.
Get to Gary's actual character in just a minute, which is the drunk in the bar that y'all hire. So you it's up to you. For those of you who decide to proceed, we've put together some small packages to help you, and there's a boat tethered down at the docks that you can use to navigate your way there. It should there's a light on the front that grows brighter when pointed in the right direction. It should keep you perfectly on target to make it to the bog and back. There's also the small matter of the gifts we'll have for you upon your return, but also just an upfront payment. And he drops a couple of heavy sacks of coins down on the table in front of him for anyone who does choose to take this adventure up.
Well, you could have led with the bags of coin. Last one to the boat does all the rowing, and I'm gonna grab a bag and run out the door.
So it's about 150 gold each. And when I say about, I'm the GM. It's 150 gold each. So you each have 150 gold. The bazaar is not necessarily on the way to the docks, but it's not on the way to the docks. So if you have anything you want to buy now that you know a little bit more about what you're getting into, you could always make your way to the bazaar. You're also just welcome to hold on to the money, or if there's somewhere else in the city you want to go before you leave, let me know.
I am going to keep about 10, and I'm going to go turn the rest into the temple, as they are in desperate need in this city.
Oh, I love that. Well, let's make our way to the temple then. And let me pull up some stuff real quick. So as you make your way to the temple district, which is actually on the way to the docks directly, everybody roll a d6 for me. Tell me what you get.
6.
4.
5.
It seems to be a bright day for Infernopolis, which usually is at least mildly overcast. But you're very quickly able to make your way over to the temple. And as you get there, the door to the temple isn't exactly where you remember it being. As a matter of fact, as you look around, it's hard to find your way into the building. It takes a little bit of that, and there seems to be almost no one on the streets for whatever reason. Are you going to? Is there a shrine or a temple to your god, or are you going to a different temple?
My god is not local, but
Okay.
but we do accept other religions. We're fine with it,
Cool.
as long as you follow, moral teachings.
Cool. So you find a good moral temple. Who's the deity that's worshipped there?
I would probably donate to the god of the downtrodden and the poor. Someone protective like that. Maybe
Dan, what's
like
this?
healing.
Yeah, Dan, what's the symbol of the god of the downtrodden and poor within Infernopolis?
I'm gonna say that it is a cup.
Okay. And then Gary, how do the priests of the god of the downtrodden dress?
They're not dressed particularly well, given their nature as the god of the downtrodden. They're in busted up old robes, tattered old robes patched up, made of all sorts of fabric. And they sleep in hay, so they're dirty and covered in hay.
Okay. Is there anything, any specific thing other than dropping off the donation that you want to do?
I'll maybe say a few words to the locals about my god.
Okay.
Maybe
So you have this interaction. You give them this. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
Yeah. 3.
Excellent. Did you take divination?
No.
Go ahead and mark, since you're holy. You feel like you're a little bit more attuned to how your god manifests within this region. It's been a little bit challenging as you've been traveling to get a real sense of. There's a little bit of clarity. Go ahead and mark down that you have one use of divination, since you're a holy character. Otherwise, this would work other ways for other people and would cost typically more. But since you have a holy background, go ahead and give you that little boost.
Awesome.
Anything else anyone else wants to do within the temple or within the city before you depart?
No, I think I've got all my things all gathered up.
So as you make your way to the dock, somebody roll a d4 for me. Rather than me doing it, I'll have one of you all do it.
I got it. 4.
You notice that there is there's a lot of noise coming from the dock area. It looks like there's a ship that has just arrived. I don't know why I could not think of that word for a second. That has is unloading crates of animals, and a few of them have burst open. These are large beasts from faraway lands. Dan, what's one type of animal that is running around all around the docks?
Oh, there's definitely like a 6-legged lion.
Okay. And Gary, you tell me another one of the animals that's escaped.
The saber-toothed orangutan.
And these two animals are basically locked in battle with each other, and except for when anybody tries to come near to net them or to snare them, they will both turn and attack everyone who is there. It looks like there are a few bodies on the ground near where they are fighting. You can't tell from this distance whether the bodies are alive or not, but they certainly are covered in blood and harried. What do y'all do?
I'm gonna turn to Keith and say, I've got 10 gold on the saber-toothed orangutan.
I'll take that bet. I'll raise you 10, and I'll bring out 20 gold.
And the animals are attacking people, you said?
There are definitely hurt bodies, yes, and anytime anybody tries to get near them, they will turn on them. The lion will swipe at them. The orangutan will launch itself towards them. You see a few people knocked over and knocked to the ground as this happens once as you kind of come up. But yes, there are already other injured bodies near where they have been kind of fighting back and forth with each other.
I'm going to go up and try to help them.
Okay. Are you just rushing into the middle of the fracas?
I'm gonna hope that there's like a lit tiki torch or something. And if there's not, I'll just light something on fire.
I mean, you can see just fine. I'm just curious if you're just like there. All those bodies are near two giant fighting
I'm
animals.
gonna sweep it in front of the animals to.
Ah, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's certainly a torch nearby from some of the different lanterns. It's not lit, but it's easy enough to light it as you're kind of rushing up on them. And yeah, you kind of brandish it to them. Are you trying to intimidate them?
Yeah.
Make a bloodthirsty roll for me. So D20 plus bloodthirsty.
6.
You rolled a D20, correct?
Yeah.
Not a D6.
I rolled a D20.
They both stop. You have to get that immediate response, and then they both lash out at you. Make a D20 plus sneaky roll.
And here I thought he was supposed to be the smart one.
Oh no, I'm the smart one.
Well, I guess he's the dead one then.
Yes.
While you are standing there, there's a sailor kind of leans over and goes, "Hey, can I get it? Can I get in on that?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'll bet you. I'll give you 5-to-1 odds. They both knock each other out at the same time."
I'll take those odds.
And he'll go in for I don't know how actually odd betting actually works. I'm not a better. I know how to say 5-to-1 odds. I know how to say how much he's going to go in for. I think basically he wagered 50 coin essentially that was the case.
Shit.
I'll see that and I'll say, I'll give you 20 gold pieces. The cleric lasts for 30 seconds.
Excellent. How'd Samir's
11.
Roll go? Yeah, you get the torch knocked out of your hand as they both come at you, but they've kind of been dazed by fighting each other, and they're a little bit slow to react. And you had already seen this happen, so the torch gets knocked out, but you're able to kind of back up out of the way. But they're still pressing down on you. Do you want to go ahead and roll initiative for me?
Sure.
So D6. If you roll a 4, 5, or 6, you go first. If you roll 1, 2, 3, they go first. So you are able to act before as they start to close in on you.
Yeah, I suppose I will. I mean, they're just animals, right?
Yes, they are just animals. I mean, one's a 6-legged lion and the other one is a saber-toothed orangutan, but
Yeah.
yes.
I'm gonna try and hop up on something to
Okay.
get out of the mix.
Just kind of clamber up on some of the boxes nearby.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you're able. It's an easy task. You're physically fit enough that you're able to get up there. The only problem is the orangutan. It seems to be quickly following you also too. But you're able to kind of stay. And if y'all see this happening, is there anything you want to do?
I'll turn to Keith and I'll say, do we need him?
I was not really clear if he returns whether or not we get his share. I should have asked for clarification.
Now you watched me spend my entire share already.
We should play it safe, I think. I sigh and I head forward.
That's not really playing it safe.
with the intention of casting sleep on the two animals. I don't know how long that'll take, but
That's your action this round. So you cast if you're using a slot of sleep, which we already established that just narratively that you're going to have a day between now and then, which means you'll get this slot back before we cut to being in the bog, that you can go ahead and cast that. Yeah.
cute.
And you're at least level 2 mystical. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm 3.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you're able to. I mean, you can make one of them sleep longer than the other if you want. It's a division process. Is there one you just really want to sleep?
I actually feel like the orangutan is more dangerous at this point.
Cool.
So
Cool. So yeah, you reach out your hand as you cast the spell. What does it look like?
it looks like a. I'm gonna say it looks like just like a swarm of fairies in glitter, and they're just gonna sprinkle dust over the orangutan.
So yeah, you hold your hand and fairies kind of erupt out and they're sprinkling glitter all over the deck. The goon kind of seems to be like take a little bit of offense to this given the circumstances, and is a little bit upset until he watches them both of the animals fall to the ground at the same time. He goes, well, looks like somebody owes me some money.
Damn. I'll give him my entire bag of 150 gold pieces. Easy come, easy go, I suppose.
You only owe him 10. He bet you 5-1, and he put up 50, which means you owe him 10 gold.
Oh shit! Okay, I thought.
I think I meant it the other way around, where he bet 10 and you owed him 50, but it doesn't matter. That we'll go with the actual way the math works, and so.
Either way.
Giblet, I'm just here for the beards also too, and so. But yeah. So he's like, well, what are y'all up to?
As the animals go to sleep, I'm gonna call over some of the people that are supposed to be wrangling these creatures. I'm gonna tie them up before they wake up.
Yeah, they all kind of, as they saw them fall, they were already kind of rushing in. But as soon as you kind of assure them that this is not a ploy, they quickly get them up and get them into appropriately sized, seemingly humane, for whatever that means, cages.
How much do you chaps suppose I could buy one of these animals for?
These are going to the noble quarters. They're a pretty penny. We had to import them from a long way away. So
I am somewhat of a noble myself. I'd be happy to pay you a mere 100 gold to take it off your hands.
That is nowhere near what these things cost.
Oh well, excuse me then.
I mean, for 100 coins, you could hire me for a little bit, but I mean, you couldn't get one of these guys.
Well, that's I just meant to take it off your hands for you, so it didn't kill any more of your men. If you'd like to go on with
I dropped him off. They're done. Like, I mean, I don't even know those guys.
Oh damn, I don't know those guys either. Shit, I was hoping maybe you'd tell their family.
No, I'm sure somebody around here will take care of that, though.
That'll get sorted out. Not my problem. Anyways, have a good day. Just wanted to know if I could buy an animal.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, there's always some guys around here looking for work. I just finished up a shift, but I mean, I don't think these animals are in your price range or for sale.
Do you have anything smaller, more violent that I could buy? Something like a flying snake or like a pissed off raccoon.
I mean, Paru is kind of like a pissed off raccoon. She's well, I mean, like people, she's usually like the last one hired in the day. But
it still sounds like you're offering me people, sir, and I'm not interested in human trafficking.
Well,
no,
it's like a job. Animal. Like everybody. I mean, like we all just finished a shift. There's not another boat going out for a couple days, so everybody's looking to kill some time. But no, it's not human trafficking. It's just commerce. It's gainful employment.
Want to purchase a violent animal and not a human being.
Well, all the violent animals down here are human beings, except for the ones headed to the Noble District. You can go talk to them if you want to, though.
Well, I tell you what, chap, you just keep your eyes open for any small, affordable, violent creatures, and next time I come through here, maybe you and I have a little chat.
I will absolutely do that. Do you want to put a deposit down so I can make an offer if one comes through?
Yeah, I'll put one gold coin in his shirt pocket in the front.
Oh yeah, that'll go a long way. How do you feel about poison?
I'm absolutely looking for something poisonous. That's poison is preferred.
Okay, excellent. Yeah,
Maybe something with venom and fangs.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out.
I will help some of these injured people.
Yeah, sure. You're just gonna cast heal on them.
Yeah.
There was one who was getting close to shuffling off this mortal coil, but because y'all put the monsters to sleep rather than a drawn out fight, you got to them in time, and they are fine. You're able to heal some of the other ones, and then the last one kind of snaps up and goes, that was that's over.
You are okay now. You are in the embrace of the one above all.
Oh, thanks.
I will then hug them.
Oh, this is new. Yeah, and he kind of like half hugs you back, and it's very much like patting on the back. Like, I don't know how I feel about this at all.
I'm not gonna let go, and I'm gonna start singing a hymn in his ear.
Tell me what the hymn sounds like.
Oh God. Don't Don't worry now, the Lord has come. Everything's fine, his will be done. There you go, a little hymn for you.
He kind of like starts humming along with you, like stops patting you on your back, starts rubbing you on your back a little bit, not in a weird way though. Like it's obvious that he's consoled. Yeah, thanks so much. My name's Yuk.
I am Samir. Peace be upon you.
Do I owe you anything?
Pay it forward.
That's what I'm trying to do. Like, do I owe you anything?
Just do a good deed for the day, sir, and we will call it even.
All right, I got it. So he kind of like wanders off into the distance. But you see the boat tethered up on the end. It's, you know, like I said, it's there's a long kind of pole out of it. It looks like there's also a small sail you can pop up as well. There's a little bit of a space in the back for people to lay down. And there's a day's worth of rations and a day's worth of water for each of you. 2 days worth of water for each of you in the boat.
I'm going to head to the back of the boat where you can lay down. And I'm going to say, well, since I saved the day, I do believe I'm due for a nap. And I'm going to lay down.
Yes, Balthazar. Thank you very much. It was appreciated.
All in a day's work, and I pull my cap over my eyes.
I'm going to slide literature into his pocket.
What do you call tracks for the god of One Above All? Are they? I mean, they're not chick tracks. What kind of tracks are they?
I'll give him like a carved stick with like Sanskrit on it.
Nice. Excellent. So who's gonna man the? Are you guys sail up, or is this somebody gonna manually push this boat?
You know, usually I would be the first one to volunteer to row, but last night I think something happened to my shoulder, and maybe I slept on it wrong, and maybe I injured it yesterday in a game of badminton. But either way, I don't think I should be rowing on it. Maybe I should let it rest for a few days.
I cast heal on his shoulder.
Right as rain. It must be feeling
there you go.
hurt from. There
Thanks
we go.
for volunteering.
No problem. Thanks for the heal.
Is there a sail? You said.
Sail you can pop up.
Okay, yeah. We'll. I come from near the water. I'll sail. My people are sailing people.
You have enough background. If it's designed to be simple, like you look at it and it's like, oh, this is designed that somebody who doesn't know how to sail can use it. The fact that you have limited sailing experience makes it very easy to pull it up. And yeah, you'll spend a day on the water. Everybody roll a d6 for me.
Yeah. 5.
Oh, I think I'm dead.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
I don't actually cotton with that rule for the most part. It was just a fun thing to say. There's an optional rule you can play, especially on streams. It's really, I mean, like at home table, it's fun. Characters are very quick to remake. On streams, I tend to not use it. Also, because I saw somebody on one of our streams over on TPK's channel, one of the other players, of which I was not the GM for this session, absolutely turned that rule back on the GM by just creating 8 characters, and then every time they were asked to roll a die, killing their character. And there's a rule, there's a concept in OSR of attacking the player's character sheet rather than like so losing items, or like it's not just about health, like stat diminishing or things like that. This was that exact same energy flipped on the GM. It was just like I'm going to consistently kill characters, have to update the overlays, figure out how to loop my character in every single time you ask me to roll a dice, and it was absolutely amazing to watch. And so yeah, for that reason, as well as the fact that I would only do it around a physical table, we're not going to worry about that. Did somebody roll a 2? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, that would be me.
Okay. And then DM, what did you roll?
5.
So you're in the middle of the night. The wind just picks up, and it pushes you. It starts to push against the sail, and all of a sudden, like there's this cracking around the boat, as the sail kind of whips in the air, and it sounds like the mast is about to snap. Keith hears this with his kind of keen, well-formed and alert ears. What do you do?
Oh shit. Do you have any experience out here in the jungle here? Either of you?
Are you getting our attention to the noise?
Yes.
Oh, you said it's the mast, right? This the sail.
Yeah, this dead of night. It's dark out. You're actually on like the edge of where it starts to turn swampy, hitting the more swampy area out of the river.
Oh no! Trim the sail.
Okay. All right. Shit. I'll start pulling the rope.
Make a D20 roll for me.
D20 roll. Oh, you want to roll low in this game, right? That's a 1.
Nope.
Nice.
That's a big fat 1.
So you start to pull on it. You pull it the wrong direction though, right? So you're trying to lower the sail. You just tighten it out, and the sail just like rips down the middle.
These damn sails. Looks like they got them from the cheapest boatsman in the damn city, doesn't it? These sails are made out of paper. You know, if I made sails, I'd make them out of linens or something. And the woodsmanship on this boat, that's something else. It's totally crap. I wasn't going to say anything,
It
but
is okay.
here we
Keith.
are.
Every test is an opportunity.
So you can still tell you're moving generally in the right direction, just much slower than you should be. But again, it's the dead of night. So your choices are you can either stay up and keep on pushing forward, let the river just kind of drag you the way you're supposed to go for the next little bit, or sleep and figure it out in the morning.
Maybe we should take shifts.
Yes, well, I'm just useless without a full 10 hours of sleep, so I need to get back to
I
bed.
heard that. I could do to catch a bit of shut-eye myself. And you know, after bringing that sail down, I seem to have really overstressed that shoulder again. So I tell you, why don't you take the first shift?
Idle hands, then I'll start rowing.
And yeah, it's about a like more of a pole that you're pushing yourself along with at this point in time. It's used just in the shallows. Like if you were out in the middle of the river current would just carry you, or you'd use the sail to go against the river. Figure out what you're going to do on the way back, and at another point. But it is shallow enough now that you've gotten to the swampy area to kind of just push your way along, and there's not a lot of resistance to it. You're skimming along pretty well. It was designed for this. But yeah, I mean, the rest of the night passes without much incident, other than, again, as you see kind of these, you're in kind of more of a treed area. There's roots. You're kind of start winding between them. It's very obviously no longer the river as you've entered into more properly this kind of inlet swamp. In the distance, the only light that you can see by, like I said, is that kind of garish green and blue glow from the light. And if you ever fade off point from time to time, it'll start to dim a little bit, and letting you know you need to kind of push back to the direction you're headed. And we now find ourselves as the next morning probably breaks, but it's hard to tell in the darkness. Standing in the boat next to the dock that I had mentioned you being at the beginning of the adventure. The green light, like I said, kind of washes out all colors, but there is this large mound of stone and earth that almost looks like a creature's maw coming out at you next to the dock, and the off of the dock itself, it just leads down into the mucky, muddy water down below you.
So I'll wake my sleeping companions. Looks like we're getting wet, fellas.
Oh, if I must, like gird up my my robes and
I
get ready.
suppose at this point I too should just start expecting the worst. Here I thought we had a boat to avoid this very thing.
Anybody have any clothespins? Don't worry about it.
There's a tie-off post for the boat if somebody does that. It looks like it's like as you kind of test it out with the pole. It looks like it's only a couple of feet deep in some places. In some places, you can even see as it rises up these kind of muddy embankments. But the water seems to be going deeply into this kind of open maw, and you can feel a warm, moist breeze kind of coming out of this maw-like area. It carries the smell of iron and blood and pollen and something else. Dan, what something else do you catch a whiff of on the breeze?
It's gonna have to be dung.
Sorry, gum or dung?
Dung.
Dung. Okay, I just want to make sure. Those are two very different scents. So I just want to make sure. Yeah.
Strawberry gum.
Yeah, and so, a slightly almost sweet aroma, kind of trickles in on the back end of that.
I smell evil.
Well, I'll say.
I mean, Keith, you have a rope, right?
Yes, that's right. I brought a rope.
Let's say you tie up the boat.
Great. I was thinking maybe we just bring it with us. You know, you never know if we might need a boat inside.
It's not gonna fit, right, Tony?
No, and actually, like, you can tell that on the other side of the dock, like the dock basically marks where that's deep enough for this boat to go versus where it gets very shallow and muddy. Like there's a very clear drop in the water where the boat is, and this dock is obviously constructed on the edge of where there's where it's safe to go or not.
All right, tie it up. We will.
There's also stalagmites and stalactites blocking the way. So
does the guiding light continue to work, or is this the destination it was set to?
It seems that like the dock it looks like as you look around the dock, you can see that there's kind of a post on there that has sigils on it. It wouldn't necessarily resonate, maybe because of your travels, you've seen some other stuff like this. Anybody with points in mystical recognizes that this post is what this was designed to hone to.
Do you think we can take it with us so that we can find our way back, Balthazar?
Yes, I'm quite confident we could.
It is your area, after all.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll put the lantern from the boat in my pack.
That's great. It is attached to the boat, so. It is not designed to be removed. However, it is a separate item that has been embedded into the front of the boat.
Okay.
So it is removable. It just isn't designed to be removed.
Yeah, let's take it.
Are you doing that by breaking off the kind of the bow of the boat where it's embedded in, which is kind of like its own like shaped piece of wood that comes up and holds it almost like an orb? Or are you going to try to like pluck it out?
I'll try to pluck it out.
Okay. How are you doing that?
Just my hand.
With just your hand? Make a bloodthirsty roll for me to see if you can just yank it out as hard as you can.
20.
20?
Yeah, I rolled a 20.
You like pull and you feel like intense resistance, and then you like twist, and almost as if like you can sense it. This is probably how it was put on. Like a tremendous amount of force was used to twist it on. And it probably wasn't designed to be untwisted, but you're able to apply just the right leverage to get it off and pop it out. And it's a very large like orb that sits in your hand, and there's this there's like a worked kind of screw, like corkscrew pattern going into it where it was seated on the bow.
There we go. can't get lost now.
Okay. So the only downside being to this, as you move it beyond the post, and it is no longer pointed towards the post, it plunges into darkness.
Oh no! What if I turn around?
Turn around, it lights right back up.
But it doesn't work on the other side of the post?
Oh no, I mean like physically, if you just spin in a circle, because remember, it
okay.
it lights up when it's pointed towards the post, and so
yeah, I just wanted to get
when
it.
when you orient yourself away from the post, it goes dark.
Sounds good.
Okay. So as a coming back out thing, 100% helpful. As a going in thing, not a good source of light because it doesn't work at all.
No big deal.
That's all right. I brought my own lantern. And my own lantern oil as well.
Well, do you light your lantern?
I will.
So as you light it up, and this is kind of yellowish light, flickers out across the scene. You notice that in this normal shade of light, that all of the dirt around you has kind of a reddish, muddy hue to it. Like it's a mix of brown and red, and even the water itself seems to be streaked with red. It's like it'll be this kind of like brownish green in some places, up next to red sand, and other places you can actually see red, almost oily rivets running down the water pathways also too. But yeah, all that's left
I think we're standing on the bodies of 10,000 corpses. I'll shine the light so you guys can see all the veins of red.
Any you guys see any flowers about?
I don't think it's gonna be that easy.
I was hoping the journey was the mission, but okay.
Is this some of that magic dirt he wanted us to get?
I'll do this with it between my fingers. I don't think so.
As you pick it up, like it is more red, but it doesn't have the same kind of crimson hue he was talking about at all. Like, it does indicate like that there is red sand in the area, or red dirt in the area, though.
We're on the right path.
All right then. I suppose you'll want me to lead the way, since I'm, the closest thing we have to a proper adventure.
Sure thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that.
From a long lineage of adventures.
Yeah, you're one of the greatest of all time. Now get in front.
Thank you. I'm glad you've said so. You and I are becoming friends quite fast.
Absolutely, and I'll slide behind the cleric.
As you go down, again, it's a mix of mud and water, and so the choice is either to go through the water, to try to jump from muddy spot to muddy spot. How are you navigating the ground?
I'm gonna jump from muddy spot to muddy spot.
Sure, that's great. Go ahead and just make a sneaky roll for me to see how you do. It's not a hard difficulty, but
you see, when I was a young boy, I used to play hopscotch with all the girls instead of doing my sword training classes, and I knew it would pay off. As many times as my father told me, hopscotch won't help you as an adventurer. I rolled an 8.
You know what? Because of the hopscotch backstory, you don't feel like you wobble a lot. It's been a while since you played hopscotch, but your extensive hopscotch experience absolutely comes into play here.
I'm gonna count on every single sandbar that I jump across, and then finish off with a rhyme and turn around.
I was gonna say you can't do it without a song.
1, 2, 3, 4. This is how you cross the door. Haha! You see? It's as easy as that.
You make your way up to these kind of where these stalactites and stalagmites are kind of blocking the way. How's everybody else handling it?
I watch that and I turn to the cleric and I go, "You realize he's going to die down here, right?"
Have faith, Balthazar, and I'll follow the leader, as it were.
Okay.
I have faith in myself, and I'll step into the water.
11. As he says he has faith in himself, I'll say, well, you're almost there.
Yeah, so you navigate. I mean, the water you get wet. You get like it's you can feel like the dirt kind of shifting around underneath your feet, but it's easy to walk through. And yeah, 11. You having watched him go across, you're able to kind of pick out that same path. As you make your way to kind of these teeth. You want to pop that map back up big on the screen real quick?
Yeah.
The map by Skull Fungus, who is one of our art contributors to the project. So it's a unique map to the rest of the project. But yeah, you guys are, for anybody who's watching the stream right now, they've just left the dock. They're kind of on that front little area. Yeah, it's easy to kind of push your way around the stalagmites and stalactites, but you kind of come through into this area, and again, that the humidity just seems to increase tremendously. It almost feels warm and almost like being held inside something's mouth. Up ahead, you see that this kind of runway of water and mud keeps on going before you, but there's a couple of stone steps leading out, one to a doorway, one to what looks like a window that's kind of crisscrossed by the same type of stalagmites, stalactites that have actually grown together. And then it kind of curves off into the distance. What do you do?
What do you think about the door there, Keith?
Think I'm going to have to bash it down.
You should try the handle first.
You know, I always like to make an entrance. It's an old family moniker of ours. Or no, motto, rather. You know, if you don't make an entrance, then you make nothing of yourself at all. You have to be remembered, you see, because every time you meet somebody, it's a first impression.
You ever thought about giving sermons?
Absolutely not.
As y'all are talking, there's a low buzzing that starts to fill the air.
I'll look back at Balthazar. That's impressive. Thinking that he's humming.
I'm looking around with increasing alarm.
As you look around, you see at first what looks like something crawling on the ceiling in the distant light, until you see it jump off and wings flare out behind it, and it flutters across to the wall on the far side. It's about 40 feet up in this room. It's a very high open area, and about 40 feet across also. It's a big rounded tunnel with these doors kind of erected into it, and these worn stones that kind of look like they used to maybe be a pathway along one wall, but have been just kind of fallen into the water over time. But you can see that it looks like there's a swarm of something up above you.
Well, you know, that doesn't look promising.
No. Maybe hurry with the door.
I'm just afraid if I try to shimmy across that ledge, I might wind up going for a drink.
It's just water. Death lurks above.
Death lurks below. We have no idea what lies within that mysterious pool.
Open the door! Open the door now!
I open the door.
So as you kind of slam into the door, it busts off of its hinges. And all of a sudden, 8 of the same type of creatures you saw above you are now bursting out of the room. One of them lunging itself at you. You're going to take 1 hit of damage as its stinger on its chest sticks into you. What everybody else sees is what looks like winged spiders that are made out of reddish chitin burst out and start swarming to you. Everybody else is going to have a chance to react. Our adventurous individual up in the front does take that 1 hit right off the bat for being surprised by them, and it is latched onto you and seems to be trying to drain out your blood.
Oh shit!
Go ahead and roll initiative for me. 1 person.
2. I got a 2.
Got a 2. If anybody has alertness, they can use that to automatically succeed even after the fact, if now that you've rolled poorly. But if nobody does, then you're gonna John, go ahead and make 2 defense rolls for me. So whatever, a D20 plus sneaky.
14 and 8.
You take one of them, launches itself at you and drives the end of one of its legs into your arms as it lands on you, and you take a hit of damage. Dan, go ahead and make 2 defense rolls for me also.
It's a D20.
Yeah, D20 plus any sneaky bonus that you have.
11 and 13.
And you are able to kind of like wave your thing in the air, move around, keep them from being able to come at you, land on you. And then Gary, go ahead and take 3 rolls for me.
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah.
All D20 rolls, yeah.
Yep.
All right, big money. An 18,
Great.
Man.
a 3,
Okay.
and a 10.
Awesome. So another one, you can feel another one land on your back, and you feel one of those stingers go in. You're gonna take 2 hits of damage, one from the one on your front and one from the one on your back.
Should have brought the drunk from the tavern.
He's
Or one of the sailors who kept on saying, "I'd love to, I'd love you to hire me or my
Desperately
friend."
trying to give us henchmen. Us not interested in henchmen.
That's whatever, you know. They're part of the dock scenery. Those are actually all random rolls, and so
That's funny.
it is one of the reasons I go through the docks, because it's an easy place to pick up a henchman if people want one, though. But yeah, now it's your turn to act.
It's about time to get these damn bugs off of me. I'm going to immediately take out and drink my life leech potion. If you think you can steal my blood, well, you've got another thing coming, you damn mosquitoes.
So describe to me what happens to your hands that allows you to steal the blood from other creatures and make it your own vital life force when you drink this potion.
I
Make it
actually
phallic.
carry a shield on one arm and a broadsword on the other. So I reach up with my shield arm and crush the necklace. And as I crush the necklace, you can see a surge of red magic explode from behind my hand and go up my arm and then down the other one and lights up my sword, and my sword starts dripping with blood.
Awesome. So I'm going to say, let's go ahead and say that for the next 3 rounds, anytime you kill something or drain the blood of something, that you will regain a hit point. But go ahead, you're going to need to make those rolls still. So go ahead and that you can drink the potion as an action. It doesn't take your entire turn. You reach up, you crush that necklace. We see the goal. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna swing at the one on front of me and try to kill it first.
Okay.
I rolled a 10 plus 6 to hit here for bloodthirsty.
Plus how much to hit?
6. So it's a 16 altogether.
You shouldn't have plus 6. How many points do you have in bloodthirsty?
3.
So you should have plus 3.
Okay. So it's plus
either
3
way,
for
either way, you hit.
I'm glad you sorted me out. It's double where it should have been.
So, either way, you do hit. So you'll go ahead and you this thing, like, you cleave it in half and it falls to the ground, and you feel that blood surge into your body.
I cleave it. Can I use one of my abilities, the 3 times a day cleave ability, to attack something else?
Absolutely.
I would like to do so.
You have 4 kind of right around you.
Yes, I would like to go ahead and swipe another one. With the
There is one on your back. You probably cannot swipe it, but you can attack either of the other 2.
Yes, I'll take either of the other 2 then.
Go ahead and roll to hit.
I rolled a 17 plus 3 for a 20.
There you go. So you cleave another one out of the air. Dan or Johanan, what does Samir or Balthazar want to do?
I will take out my mace and my buckler, and I'll try to smash the one that hit me.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll your D20 plus bloodthirsty.
7.
You like hit it, and it just kind of pulls out of reach and moves back.
Hey, come back here.
Balthazar, what do you want to do?
So how many are there total?
That were swarming around you. There were 2 around you, 4 around Keith, and 2 around Samir. However, you do know that you saw some out here before any of that happened, so you suspect that there are more than the 8 that you could see and 6 that are still alive.
Okay. And how big are they?
They are about this big around.
Okay.
So they are not small. They are about basketball-sized creatures,
Like
a little bit
good
more.
size sandwich.
Yeah. You know those Australian spiders we always see pictures of, and we're like, just thank God we don't live in Australia. About like that, but with wings.
Okay. So if I were to turn into a bird big enough to eat one, is that too many levels for me?
You want to use your polymorph potion to turn in? I know. I mean, like I love narrative flavor on these things. So if you want to use your polymorph potion to turn into like a more predatory version of a pelican, essentially, absolutely, I think that's totally
Into like
reasonable.
a shoehorn bird, one of those Australian birds that's like 7 feet tall. With a
That
big time
eats those
bill.
spiders, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start eating up those spiders like hungry hippos.
So you quaff your polymorph potion. I am going to say that for you, like transforming your body probably does take the round. So that's what you do this round. Like we see, like you quaff this potion, and all of a sudden, like you like drop into your robes, and we like hear squawking as this creature then kind of erupts back out of them, disrobed and able to move.
Oh shit!
next
I hate
round.
birds. Swing.
And that means they're going to get a chance to go again.
Okay.
Gary, you're going to take another hit. Go ahead and roll your 2 defense rolls for me.
2 defense rolls. I have a shield, even though it's not sneaky. Does that add a +1, or is that just offhanded?
No, but if you have a hit that is incoming, you can basically sacrifice your shield to block it.
Okay.
The one leached on your back isn't helpful for you in this, but if you fail either of your defense rolls and want to narrate one of them smashing into your shield, you can.
All right. I will roll my defenses. The first one was a 6. Second one was a 4.
Sure.
I think I'm going to use my shield on one of these.
All right. And then the other one kind of latches on, like you actually hold it up and they both come out. One of them smashes into the shield, and it actually like obliterates itself on the shield. Like you bring it up to smack it, it's coming in, like it smashes in. It's not dead, but it's not flying anymore. Like it's when you hit the insect out of the air and all of a sudden it's like, I don't want to fly around so much right now. That's where this spider is at. The other one latches onto your arm and starts trying to drain the blood out there. You took a hit point of damage for that also? All right. And then John and I go ahead and make 2 defense rolls for me.
8. 18.
You're going to take another hit point of damage.
Yes.
As that same one kind of harries you again. The other one hasn't seemed to figure out exactly what it wants to do yet and is not swooping low enough. And so, Dan, you've got, can you go ahead and, you are able to fly now. I'm going to give you a +1 to dodging for the next little bit. Cause it just seems like if you can fly and move around also now you've got more defensible options from a down we go standpoint. So go ahead and take +1 to your defense rolls.
And also,
6.
I would like to know what kind of bird noise you make, just personally.
Everyone wants to know what kind of bear noise, what kind of noise you're making as a bird.
It's actually like horrifying. It sounds like, if you've ever heard one of these things, it sounds like a machine gun. They like click their bills really rapidly. Yeah, they're very scary birds. So I got a 6 and a 15.
So you're going to take a hit point of damage as one of them kind of collides with you midair as you take off, and then the other one goes to where it would have thought you would have been, but you have now been able to kind of mount up into the air. Doesn't seem to be able to latch on. This is just a midair like swipe. And that is all their actions. So go ahead and y'all take your turns.
I am going to try to smash the one on Keith's back.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll. D20 plus 30.
Here we are.
You smash. You roll well enough to also not accidentally damage Keith, and so you kind of watch the guts explode out of this thing and see a lot of blood erupt out, but probably mostly Keith's and not this thing's. And so, awesome. Who's next?
Can I use a spell, or was that your whole turn?
Usually, you want to use an ability or a spell. What were you hoping to do, though?
Heal.
Heal. Yeah, you need to. If you want to heal instead of hitting.
Okay, no big deal.
So
I figured as much.
Yeah.
You watch where you're swinging, chap. You almost got blood in my hair. I'll attack the other one in front of me.
Okay.
I think which is the final one in front of me now.
Correct. Yes.
Rolled a 12 plus 3 for a 15 to hit.
That's gonna hit. So you cleave this one in half.
And get myself one more hit point.
Yep. Do you want to try for another one?
No, I think I'm okay here.
Okay. So Dan, what does Balthazar want to do?
I'm gonna dig into this buffet. So, do you need me to roll attacks?
Yep. Go ahead and roll an attack. You're a natural predator here. Like, this is the body you're in now. This is what they were designed to do. So, go ahead and take advantage for right now.
Okay, cool. So 15.
So you are able to chomp down on one. Tell us what it looks like as you peck.
Oh, he's just
Remember
like,
this thing?
he's got a big wide bell, and it just clamps down, and the orange goo just gushes out the sides as the legs wriggle out the side of its bill, and then it gulps it down like a pelican tilting its head back.
Excellent. That leaves us with Gary. That's everybody's action. Gary, go ahead and make a defense roll for me. Actually, each of you make one defense roll because that's where we're at right now.
My dice landed crooked.
I got a 3.
16.
Gary, so one comes at you. You get the remnants of your shield up and just kind of like bat it away. Dan, what was yours?
5.
You again that same one, like you're while you're focusing on kind of getting this one down, one just kind of lands on your back, and it looks like it's almost trying to ride you as you feel this stinger stick into you, and it starts to drain your blood out. Take a hit of damage, and then Johanan.
3.
That's a big 3.
You get back to back with Gary. You're like cleaning off Keith's like the blood off of it, making sure none of it got in his hair. And while you're doing that, you forgot that there was another one, and it just slams into your back now and starts trying to suck the blood out of you. So you're gonna take a hit of damage.
This is no time to work on your braiding skills. Pay attention. At least that's what my father used to say during training.
And it'll be y'all's turn again.
I will cast heal this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot one Keith's way.
Cool.
And then
Keith, you take a hit point back.
All right.
At this point, I need to put the other 2 in me.
Okay. Cool. You tell us what it looks like as you cast heal.
I'm gonna have my holy symbol flash on my chest, as my hands glow, my eyes glow, and then just it kind of settles on the people intended, and our wounds close.
Excellent. So you cast heal. What's everybody else up to?
I attacked the one directly in front of me. I rolled a 12.
Okay. You rolled a 12 plus 3, or you have a 12 total?
12 altogether.
So you kind of whiff near it and miss it.
Damn, these things are bloody fast.
DM, John?
I healed.
That's right.
Can I get to the one on my back?
Not in a conventional way.
Okay.
I mean, wait, do you have a staff? What do you have?
I'm a bird.
You're a bird. Yeah, not in a conventional way. I mean, you're also a bird, so I mean, whatever you want. I mean, like, you know, if you have a creative way to maneuver in which it causes damage to this thing, I'm all about it.
I'm actually going to. These things fly, right?
These things do fly.
All right, so I'm going to dive underwater and see if I can get it to let go at least while
Okay.
I'm underwater.
Excellent. So you dive down into the water. I like that. Is that everybody?
Yes.
Do you make a D6 roll for me?
3.
Yeah, so you hit the water, and at first this thing doesn't necessarily let go, but then after you're down there for a couple seconds, you feel it kind of like start to shake, and then it bucks off and releases from you.
Cool.
John and I, you take another hit as this one kind of sucks down on your back. And Gary, make a dodge roll for me.
I rolled a 6.
So this one kind of comes in, and it's like kind of takes one of its legs and it scratches across your face.
Bastard.
You take a hit of damage. It's your turn.
I'm
gonna jump up in the air and land on my own back.
Excellent. Yeah, it dies. That works. I don't think there's a roll needed for that.
Trust fall.
Yeah, I mean gravity works. The what is everybody else doing?
the one that I'm fighting. I'm gonna like put my sword against it and then run like 30 feet across the room, screaming, and then stab it into the wall.
Now, this had happened as you burst into the room, so I want to clarify. Are you running 30 feet across the room that you had backed up into, or the room that they all burst out of?
Not into the drink, but maybe more on the lateral level, side to side and not forward to back. Just go slam it into a wall.
Cool, so you just want to pick an angle that allows you to do that, is what you're saying.
Correct, yes.
I think you can make it about 20 feet that way.
That'll be perfect.
It's about the only option you have. Yeah, so you want to slam your throat to make your attack roll for me?
16.
Okay. You are able to slam into it, and you'll regain a hit point.
All right, and that's the final round of that potion.
Correct. So, DM, what are you up to? What is Balthazar the bird doing?
Are there any of them that are currently threatening the other two?
No.
All right, but the one that was attacking me is still in the area?
Yeah, it seems to have kind of gone up in towards the ceiling, but you can see it like crawling around up there.
Yeah, I'm going to burst out of the water and just try and snap at it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll again with advantage.
2.
Wait, advantage? With advantage was 2?
Rolled 2 2s. Yeah.
You kind of like slam into the ceiling as it moves off to the side. No damage, but you hope you were out of the lantern light so that nobody else saw. So, and go ahead and make a dodge roll for me.
17.
It kind of it's a very tight area here at the top of this rough hewn tunnel as y'all are like basically launching back and forth trying to hit each other and missing. It is y'all's turns again. DM, go ahead and take first action on this one.
20.
Nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
It's tell me how you finish this one off.
It's just one gulp. It's just gone. Boom.
Cool.
You as you do this, you can feel that you're not going to be a bird for much longer. However, you do notice that the other ones have kind of disappeared from up here. You don't see the ones that you had noticed.
Intimidated.
Is there one left near Jahan's character?
No, he fell on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we're good on our side then.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. There's no more. Yeah. With that one gone, they have all disappeared, and so.
Excellent. And so, is the door that they came through the 1 to 12 or the 1 to 3?
1 to 12 is a waterway that has stalagmites seem to be growing across it. It is the 1 to 3.
Okay.
So yeah, what you see in the room that you just kind of burst through, you notice there's some kind of red viscous fluid kind of flowing down the walls in here that kind of cuts across the middle. That iron smell is very strong in here. And you also notice that it looks like there's some sort of nest in the corner where these things were kind of weaving. And there's what looks like an egg satchel back in there. They're each about the size of a fist. And that's what you see. The series of kind of cairns around the edge of the room also.
Oh no, they're gonna ask for the manager.
CAIRNS, Karen.
There's a yelp as I turn back into a human and fall down face first into the water.
Oh no. Are you
I
okay,
suppose
Balthazar?
Suppose that's one way to taste the water.
So fine. That was actually one of the best meals I've had in ages.
You know, I really think after having that meal, you should go have your stomach checked out, chap.
No, I'm good.
There's no way that eating buckets full of people's blood and bugs is good for you, boy.
Waste not.
Disgusting. Well, go on now, lead the way. I've done my share.
I'll actually offer you my buckler.
Oh, thank you. Yes, this shield. I borrowed it from my older brother, and I told him I'd return it, but as usual, he keeps his gear like shit, so it broke, and I'll just drop it on the floor. Be like, some family relic that is. A piece of crap's what it is. Family piece of crap, more like.
After you. I gave you a shield that told you to go first.
So as you kind of pick your way across this room, you see another door just kind of straight ahead of you.
All right, that must be the one there. Just not many options. That must be the door. I tell you what, this time I'm going to listen before I kick the door open.
Interesting.
This is an old trick my family taught me. And so I'll put my ear to the door, to the keyhole.
So you put your ear, there actually doesn't seem to be a keyhole,
Okay.
but as you put your ear against the door and listen, you hear what almost sounds like incredibly high-pitched screeching in the distance. Like it's almost screaming, but you're not entirely sure what it is.
Now, I'm not sure how to put this, chaps, but it sounds like there's something screaming on the other side of this door.
To clarify, it doesn't it's only because you pause to listen. It sounds very distant.
Like a faint screaming of sorts. You think the flowers scream?
Perhaps someone is in need of our assistance.
Well, You know what my family always says? And I'll kick the door as hard as I can.
It like falls off of its hinges.
You have to blast the door open and really make an entrance.
And there's just another door straight across from you in a long hallway that kind of bisects the area. But it's just about 10 feet across. It's much tighter in here. It only goes up about 10 feet as well. And so you can see this other doorway that looks very similar to the one that's laying across the entire hallway now.
I'll be damned if I let this door taunt me, and I'll run across that hallway and blast the other door off the hinges.
Sure. As you do that, you enter into a room that smells strongly of blood and strawberry gum. And in front of you, there appear to be what probably started as 4 or 5 bodies that have all been fused into what looks almost like a human tree. Like torsos have been turned, feet have been turned into like bulbous root structures. The torsos have been melded together. Body parts have been removed to make kind of hanging branches in front of you, and the faces are stretched long as if they were knots woven into a tree right in front of you, and the eyes shift eerily towards you as you enter.
Hey, boyos,
About
come on,
15
come over
feet
here.
away.
There seems to be an interesting type of tree I've never seen before.
Ooh. I'm gonna go over and start admiring it. No, this is high quality craftsmanship.
Is this an unholy abomination, Tony?
I mean, you don't get a sense, you don't get a feeling of any sort of unnatural demonic presence or oppositional divine presence. However, absolutely, probably from an emotional standpoint, it reads that way.
My God. And there's just people's faces in there.
Yeah, they're kind of woven through, and you can also hear like groaning as you get closer, and their eyes are moving around to track you, and their like mouths kind of open and close as you get closer, and you can see that the limbs that have been turned into upper branches almost seem to try to draw down near you to grab at you.
I say, this reminds me of a theatric orgy I once attended called the Human Millipede.
And I'm kind of like in awe of it, and I say, whoever made this was a master.
Whoever directed the Human Millipede was also a master.
Whoever made this is a monster. Does it appear that there's anything I can do for these poor people?
In their suffering, whether or not they're still aware or not, or whether there's just kind of a biometric response is completely probably indiscernible to your character.
Does it
other
look
than
flammable?
I mean, one thing you've learned in your time traveling the world is that all flesh eventually burns. It looks more human flesh than it does tree.
Yeah.
So will it burn? Yes. Will it burn easily? No.
I think we need to leave this place.
If fire is what you're after, I have some extra lantern oil right here. You know, we could douse this thing and light it up. Watch it burn back to hell where it came from.
Perhaps that's for the best.
This is a work of art. You can't do that.
Well, let's load it up and bring it out of here. I'm sure we could find a buyer.
Art
This
is
thing's terrifying.
subjective, but that's going too far, I think, Balthazar.
Look, either we keep it or we burn it, but I don't think we should just leave it here collecting dust.
I say we burn it.
I could think of a great corner in my house for a mass full of gibbering mouths, though.
You're gonna burn it. I'm not gonna watch. I turn my back.
All right, I don't have a bag big enough to carry this out, and I don't think he's going to help, so I guess we're going to burn this thing to hell. All right then, monster, burn back to hell from whence thou came. I'll pour the lantern oil on top of it.
Okay.
And I will light it.
As you light it, all of a sudden, the faint screaming that you heard earlier erupts all around you. You can hear screams going up and down all of the hallways in this entire place, including the massive bodies right in front of you that starts to writhe in agony as you burn them to death.
I told you.
You know, I feel pretty good having done that. All the same.
I will do the equivalent of my religion's Hail Mary. And I want it to be needlessly complicated.
Okay. As you take the minutes it takes to do that, as you watch these these human remains burn, you notice something green and viscous kind of oozing around in the middle of that and melting, and it's also making kind of a screaming noise that is less akin to what everything else you're hearing. It's almost hard to make out, but it's more like steam escaping from a sticky substance as it's boiled, that you kind of see in the middle of the massive bodies.
Any idea
Just
what
FYI.
that is, Balthazar?
I think I think the ink makers might be interested in this, and I take a little jar and try and scoop it up.
Excellent. What do you use to scoop it up with? Like you use the jar itself?
Yeah,
Cool. How do you seal the jar?
the cork.
Cool. And how do you deal with the extra stuff on the edge of the bottle that's there from the scooping up process?
I'm gonna wipe it on Keith.
Keith, what are you wearing?
I am wearing chainmail.
Excellent.
Fuck.
As you wipe it across the back of Keith's chainmail, you notice the chinks on the chain, like the rings on the chainmail start to rust where you wiped it off.
Ooh. I'm gonna act like nothing happened.
Does it keep spreading?
No, just like that.
Okay.
Just that area rusts dramatically and very quickly.
I'm gonna tuck that little vial away.
As a narrative, that guy's totally getting stabbed right there.
Later on, when Keith dies, that's going to be the spot. That but yeah, this feature was dominating this room, so there is nothing else in here now other than a pile of like smoldering human remains and whatever this substance was that was steaming, which also seems to be dissolving the bodies more quickly. It's actually burning. Like once it catches, eventually it burns with a intensity hotter than the oil did, but it did take a while for it to catch.
You know, I always wondered why they sent adventurers out here to get all these flowers and they just didn't bring them back to grow their own back in the city. It seems, a mighty task to send us all the way out here just for a handful of flowers.
Maybe they can't grow them back home.
Well, at least plant them by the front door. Damn.
So yeah, everybody roll a d6 for me.
Yeah. 6.
4.
2.
Okay. But yeah, no, like I said, eventually they smolder out. And there's a hallway that you pass through behind you that continues down in either direction. Actually, as you step out and you kind of look towards the right, you notice that there's actually a collapse. It looks like the tunnel that direction has mostly collapsed in the next room, meaning that the left is the only open way, or you can go back towards the main waterway that you entered through. You also are no longer in the muck. There is solid stone underneath your feet now.
Good.
Want to go left?
That's what I say. I say we go left.
Excellent.
As you make your way down a little bit, is it the same marching order as before?
Yes, you know there's an old adage that lefty loosey, righty tighty, so only hardasses and people who are just stuck up take a right, and everyone who likes to have fun and party, well, we all go left.
So you can see that about 25 feet down, there's another door on the left-hand side, and ahead of you, the ground starts to break up a little bit, and you can see spots of kind of that same red oozing liquid mixed with mud up ahead.
It looks like we're getting closer to the source.
It does. Do you think anything is behind this door? I know you hate doors.
It's not that I hate doors. It's that, you only have one chance to make a first impression. So, if there's baddies standing on the other side of that door, well, then we for sure want them to be quivering in their boots when we enter. And then I kick the door off the hinges as soon as I finish talking.
I need one of you to roll a d6 for me. How about you, Gary, since you kicked the door down?
Gladly. I have rolled a big, strong, fat 2.
Okay. What you see before you is a beautiful garden that is filled with a pond in the middle that has these these blood red, what look like lotus flowers floating amongst a number of kind of dark reddish purple lilies on top of black brackish water. And there is kind of an opening off to your side in the distance. You can't quite see what's back there, but there's this huge kind of ornamental area right in front of you. And on the far side, it looks like there's stairs leading down into the dark. What do you do?
Oh, thank God, it looks like we finally found all these flowers we've been after, and the hubbub can finally come to an end. Which one of those flowers are the ones we're looking for? I asked the other two.
Does it appear to be what we're looking for? I don't.
These look like lotuses. It was actually, they were described more like roses.
Yeah, I don't recall them growing in water. I'll say that.
They are flowers. They are the right color.
Well, of course they grow in the water. We're in the swamp. How picky could they be? Red flowers in the swamp, in the cave. Let's just grab it and head back and they can sort it out.
I don't know. There's no stem, no thorns, no petals, or no leaves, rather. Doesn't look right.
If you want to carry on in this death trap, then by all means, lead the way.
I'm inclined to agree with the brute for once. I think he's onto something.
Well, I mean, if you guys don't want to get the rest of the money and be known as incompetent, that's fine.
My entire life I've been known as incompetent, but if we bring back flowers, surely that's worth something.
You know, when I was younger, incompetent was my middle name, and I've done a whole lot since then to get rid of that nickname. If there's one thing I'm not, it's incompetent.
Thanks so much for the subscription.
Yes.
We love Colorfly and Tfue. I mean, if you guys want to take these flowers and run, I guess I'm outvoted here, but I'm just concerned it won't count.
Well, I tell you, I didn't come out all the way into the swamp for nothing. If you think there's something else we should get, well then let's get it while we're here. I don't plan on coming back.
My sentiments, exactly. What else is in this room other than these flowers? You said there's like an area to the right and there's stairs going down, right?
Yeah, so on the backside you can see there's stairs that descend into kind of darkness as you kind of go to the farther side, and then the pond kind of juts out from the wall, like in the far corner from where you came into the room, like the back right-hand corner. Also, if you wrap around the pond that way, there's an opening that's just an alcove that opens up into another space, but it's hard to kind of see what's back there.
Maybe we should take a peek. I'm not liking those stairs too much. I don't remember them saying anything about the flower growing underground.
I mean, you can tell there's something, like, you're not just in the swamp anymore. Like, you are inside this kind of rocky structure that once you went through that maw, you've been under earth the entire time. How this does certainly go down deeper, and in these rooms there seem to be places where theoretically sunlight might punch through, and that seems to be an area where sunlight would not punch through, but who knows.
I guess we'll go check over there then.
So
To the alcove. I will go take a peek.
it looks like there's a large kind of stone blocky box back in there. It could be a storage area, but it looks very, very much like a why can't I think of it? A sarcophagus.
It could be the root of all evil. I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay. Yeah. So you pull up and it's empty-ish. Like upon at first inspection, as you look up a little bit closer, you realize there's kind of that same kind of pearlescent ooze towards the bottom, and there's something down in it.
An ooze?
Yeah, remember you burnt the tree down and there was a bunch of ooze inside? It looks similar to that.
Oh, I'm not putting my hand in that.
Well, I mean, that's fine. There's something down there.
Could I fish it out with... Is there anything nearby I could fish it out with?
So you don't have a lot of light currently, I don't believe. Do you have a light source with you?
I did not bring one, no.
There we go. And so you can theoretically position yourself on the other side of this thing, pull the boat lamp out and try to orient it towards the thing to give yourself that blue-green light if you want to.
If you're looking for a lantern, look no further than here.
Or you can call in the other room.
Yeah, I'll just wait for my friend to get
Keith to come in.
Keith.
And I see you're looking into that murky water. You know, I have brought a fishing pole for just such a circumstance. When I realized we were going out on a boat, you know, one of my hobbies has always been being a bit of an angler. I'll hand you the fishing pole.
I didn't think anyone would have brought one, but hey, yeah, I'll try to literally fish it out.
Cool. So as soon as that is, what's the hook made out of, Gary?
In my head, it's just made out of a small piece of metal, just a small.
Great. As soon as that hook hits the ooze, it just starts like boiling and steaming, and you can watch it rust and melt in front of your eyes.
Huh. Got any bone hooks?
I'd say it's a damn good thing I didn't give you my bird cage. And I'll whip a cloth off of a bird cage that I've got on my back for Lord knows what reason. Oh shit, it seems my canaries escaped.
Oh no. I'm gonna look around for like a piece of wood or something I can attach to this or stone, since the ooze seems to be sitting in stone.
Sure. Like, actually, as you start looking around, you do notice that there are a number of small bones all around this thing on the ground. There's ribs, there's other pieces like that. There are also larger chunks of stone, too.
Yeah, I'll pick up one of these children's bones.
Smaller pieces. I didn't say they were small bones. Cool.
And I'll tie it up, assuming that I don't raise the dead on accident here.
Sure. As you stick it in, and actually now with the light even closer, you can actually see kind of almost a vague silhouette of what looks like a human form as you start to kind of pull this thing up out of the ooze.
It's the only thing keeping the Dark One from rising. Well, you know, we're already doing it. I'm not gonna turn back now.
You actually see the ooze start to shift and swirl around the body. And it's almost like watching it track as you're pulling this thing up out. Like it's not trying to keep it in, it's trying to follow it up out of the thing.
Excellent. I'll keep going. keep going.
Cool.
I have the Lord to protect me.
Sure. All of a sudden, basically sitting in front of you is a giant ooze-shaped body, and then all of a sudden its head tilts to look at you. You've got a quick second to respond.
I'm gonna put it back.
So you just kind of drop the fishing pole. It clatters back down, and then you hear this sloshing sound as the ooze starts to shift and move around inside of there.
Help me with this lid, you guys. I think I fucked up.
I'm not nearby.
I am, and I'll help him with the lid.
Well, there was no lid on it.
I shook it. Oh no. Is the ceiling above it collapsible?
I mean, the hallway down was collapsible. So, I mean, if you want to try to make it collapse, there's a ton of stone and bone around you also.
Yeah, let's just cover it. Start throwing stuff in.
I'll just sigh and walk forward. You morons. And I'm going to cast wall over the open.
Now look, this time it was his fault. We weren't both morons, just him.
You're the assistant moron.
Tell us what your wall looks like as it covers this thing.
It's gonna look like wood paneling.
Like the
Looks like
side
wood
of a
paneling.
station wagon.
Exactly. Station wagon. Wood panel.
Damn, that's a wall.
Yeah. The finest mahogany.
Now I'm looking to do some interior decorating when we get back. Perhaps you come over and put up some of these walls for me.
We could do that, but we also need to leave now because this is temporary. So let's go.
Someone in the chat did have a point earlier about you see the stairs in a game called Down We Go. You kind of gotta go down, don't you?
Sure.
Quick, to the stairs! It's our only salvation!
Down we go!
And that's for you, Giblet.
So you run over and you see like these steps going down, and it looks like there's just like you get to the bottom of them, and it's like a tool alcove. Like there's gardening shears, there's a mister filled with a weird red liquid. There is like spades and even like some hose, a rake. Like it is just a crap ton of gardening equipment. Now, again, it's all red and bloody and rusty and horrifying, but it's also just totally normal ass gardening equipment in the most macabre presentation possible in an alcove down here.
It looks like if the director of Saw set up gardening equipment.
Yeah. If Jigsaw was like, you know what, I really would like to see if I have a green thumb.
House
That's what we're getting.
House of a Thousand Lows.
They hired Jigsaw to work outside at the
Right.
Home Depot, set up the outdoor center.
It's a dead end.
Other than disgusting gardening equipment, is there anything here? I'm gonna search around.
It is very much that somebody has turned this down area into a storage room. Like it is 5 feet by 5 feet of gardening equipment.
I will take a spade.
All right.
You know, maybe we should load up on gardening equipment while we're here. It appears to be some kind of subterranean greenhouse. I'll also grab like a big shovel and something else, like maybe a bucket.
All right. Well, then let's get out of here before that slime beast dissolves our souls.
Yeah, and so y'all go down. You look at this as you're coming out. You can actually see like it's starting to try to pull itself back up. Like the wall doesn't last very long. Like it's trying to pull itself back up out of there.
Well, that was well used.
I mean, it's a ways away. It's moving slow. I'm just letting you know, like it is very evident after going down and looking around and kind of moving through everything and all that stuff, picking out the specific spade you want and then coming back up. Like it's that's the wall has elapsed and it's like you can just see it starting to like bubble up over the top of the edge in there. And so, yeah, but I mean, you can walk out the door you came in also too.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's walk out the door we came in and continue down the hallway. Everyone good with that?
Yeah, that sounds great. And perhaps we could close this door behind us. It would seem somebody kicked it right the fuck off the hinges.
I'll try to help him prop the door up.
Should we grab a flower for posterity's sake?
That's all you. I'm not touching anything else in this room.
If you want to grab one, you have time to do it before they come out.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I'll grab one.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me how you get it, how you treat it. Are you just like reaching down and yanking it out? Are you picking it up and cutting it? What are you doing?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a yanker. I'm just gonna grab
cool.
it.
So you reach down, you try to grab around the base of it.
Yeah.
As you do that, make a bloodthirsty roll for me.
Oh. A 4.
Yeah, you feel it wrap around your arm also too. And you feel it, you watch that the lotus leaf kind of like popped up on the top, flip down over your arm, and you feel a burning sensation as the petals wrap around your forearm, and the vine beneath it kind of wraps around your hand.
It's a gonorrhea flower.
I may have made a slight miscalculation.
The other lotus is in the pond, and lilies in the pond are starting to shift towards you slowly.
Oh.
I'm gonna see him in trouble and try to help him. I'm gonna try and pull him away from the water.
Okay. Make a bloodthirsty roll with advantage for me.
Yes. Not bad. 16.
So y'all are able to pull him back. Like it's not letting go. And I don't know if you are either, right? As you pull, do what?
I'm definitely letting go.
Okay. As you pull back and it pulls on and it pulls out of the water, you see more of these lotuses kind of pull up out of it, and they're all kind of like grabbing at the air around the vine. And then it lets go and pulls back, and you lose another hit point of damage.
I think I'm dead then.
Oh no, is he really hurt? Oh no.
Yeah, he got hurt a whole lot. You were like, I'm gonna heal you and you, but not
I
you.
didn't realize he got hurt.
So that's fine. Go ahead and make another character. We'll figure out where you're at in just a second.
Balthazar, no!
Balthazar,
Yeah, I told him those weren't the flowers we were after.
Balthazar, like you watch as Balthazar like lets go of this thing, and like the life actually like seems to drain out of his eyes, and you realize a second later that like you are pulling on a dead body. Like whatever this thing did to him as it latched around his arm has absolutely drained what little vital force that Balthazar had left.
I'm gonna drag him out into the hallway.
Okay.
And I'm gonna close his eyes. And then I'm gonna whisper into his ear. To go into the light and you shall be welcome.
Come on now, he's not getting any more alive. We still have flowers to get.
And yeah, I'll just lay him down.
Okay.
But at what cost, Keith? At what cost?
At the cost of the life of that guy named Balthazar.
Balthazar.
Whatever. Yes, sure. Whatever his name was. At the cost of him. But also not at the cost of us. So pick up the pace, if you would.
Damn.
Knees up.
So there's a hallway leading in front of you. Like I said, it's starting to break up more. You see some of that kind of brackish, muddy, red water starting to kind of come up here. As you notice that up ahead, this is where like the stone meets a lot of the water that it seems like you may have been walking in earlier may have curved over. It could be a different setting, like set of water also too. You're not 100% sure, but the way it was curving earlier seems like it. So down here, you also notice that there's a bunch of cracks in the wall next to you, and that there's green ooze coming out of, or that pearlescent green ooze is starting to push through them, and there's a bunch of rocks that are kind of tumbling down. It's about even with where the room with the empty sarcophagus, or the oozy sarcophagus was also too.
Let's make haste, my friend.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna hurry past.
Okay. So as you make your way forward, you can either branch back into the water, but it looks like there's also a pathway up ahead. You are going to have to go through the water no matter what. There's a stone about halfway across. You could make a leap, make it over to the other side. You could also just stumble through the water or turn right back and go see where that watery kind of pathway takes you.
I'm gonna chuck a stone across and be like, hopscotch. And I'll like hold my hand out for him to lead the way, as it is his area of expertise.
This is a bigger leap. So this is like not a running leap, but not a hopscotch leap also too. This is probably about a 4 or 5 foot gap, and then a pretty broad stone right in the middle, and another 4 or 5 foot gap.
You see, when I was a boy, I used to practice leaping all the time. And still here as a grown man, I leap every day 4 or 5 times. So here I shall leap. And I do. I have rolled a 4.
That's fine.
Okay.
You hit it, you slip, you fall, you land in the water, and you just feel it kind of gushing around you. You feel it kind of pulling at your mouth, right? Like almost like it's trying to force its way into your throat. Make a bloodthirsty roll for me.
That actually is my forte. 17.
Okay, you resist the urge to open your mouth, and like there's like gasp and accidentally suck a whole bunch in. What about you, Samir?
Oh no! I'm gonna break myself from my inner thoughts of how Balthazar will never leap again. And I'll brush away the single tear, and I shall try to grab a branch or something and be like, here you go, Keith. I've got you.
Thanks, I appreciate the hand up.
Whose idea was it to jump? I'll shake my head. And I'll try to help him out of the water, or whatever this is.
I'm a well-accomplished leaper, and I think it was just the lighting in here. I would, after when we leave, I should like if you would come over to my estate, and I could show you my leaping skills on a well-lit, flat, even ground. I'm afraid I've left a bad taste in your mouth for my leaping abilities.
Oh no, there's you're good. I believe in you. And I'll help him up. Let's go the other way.
So are you going to continue to go across, or are you going to go down that watery pathway now?
I think we should go down the watery pathway.
I
mean, there's more stone on the other side, so it looks like this is just a disruption of the path, and so like it's. I mean, you can wade across the water and get over there.
Oh, I'll go across then.
Yes, I'm already wet. Might as well wade across now.
I will be happy to get across then.
Yeah, so you guys make it across to the other side, and again, it looks like the pathway may have collapsed on the other side. There's a lot of this like red, kind of oozy liquid coming down. It's that you can tell like that's probably where it seems like that sweet smell is coming from. It still has that kind of coppery tang of iron, but it's got this very kind of sweet quality to it also. And then up ahead, it seems like it's almost coalesced into a mucus-like substance. And you see what looks like a number of those spiders like crawling in and out. You saw the little egg sac earlier. There is a huge, massive hive back here that is crawling with these things. They don't seem to have taken notice of you yet. And you do notice that there are 3 human-sized cocoons, one of which is struggling mildly.
I guess we'll like crouch low and like whisper like, I think I can help whoever that is.
You know, I do have this grappling hook and chain. If you'd like to throw it up there, maybe you can pull it down.
Yeah. Hook 'em.
I also have this 10-foot chain, or this 10-foot pole. How high up are they?
They are hung from the ceiling, but you could easily use that to try to like knock them down.
In my travels, I have come across something called a piñata. I think you got this. You're the man for the job.
What do your travels and the piñata have to do with this?
It's a thing that hangs from the ceiling full of prizes that you smash open with a stick.
All right, so you want me to smash them open with a stick?
Yes.
Very well. I'm the one that's struggling. I'm gonna smack it with the 10-foot pole.
Wait.
Oh, now I'm gonna wait.
I'm gonna cover his eyes with the blindfold and spin him around 3 times.
Great. And you're aiming for midsection, or where are you aiming for here?
I'm blindfolded, so I'm aiming for the piñata.
Right, but in your mind's eye, which because it's not going to get yanked.
Okay, in my mind's eye, I'm aiming for the center of the piñata.
Sure. Are you ready with your new character yet, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Find out why you're in the predicament you're in just a second. So you get go ahead and make a bloodthirsty roll for me with disadvantage.
Bloodthirsty. 17 and 8. 8 plus 3 is 11 altogether.
Yeah, you just and all of a sudden your character just feels a smack right in the middle of their body. What? A few days ago in Infonopolis, you were minding your own business, and all of a sudden, you cut down an alley, and these creatures, unlike any you had ever seen, appeared before you. Knocked you unconscious, and the next thing you knew, you woke up in this dark space, hauled here by unknown forces of the bone turner who has brought you here to be able to manipulate your very flesh. You don't know any of that, but that is what happened. Tell us who that happened to.
So, spilling out of the piñata comes a kind of scraggly, hunched figure who's wearing like a leather hood. Kind of looks at you, squinting eyes. Says, "Oi! You poke me again, and I'll poke you back." And he holds out a dagger.
Oh, I thought the contents of the piñata were supposed to be sweet, and here they are quite sour indeed.
You got it.
Sorry.
On the first try. Well,
All of a sudden, all of the spider creatures that were crawling around have seemed to have taken notice of you, and there are 4 who look like they're moving your direction.
we should get out of here as quick as we can. Are you feeling okay?
The
Can
hallway
you walk?
continues past this also too. Like this is not all there is here.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll continue forward, I guess. Hurry! Make haste, my friends. And I guess I'll try to hit one of these things on my way to hopefully safety.
Make an
Try to
attack
hit
roll.
The same one that you're trying to hit.
Good, because I missed with a 4.
I rolled an 18.
Okay, you hit. Tell us what it looks like as you slash at this creature on your way out.
So we're running through this room. He swipes, and then as he swipes, I bring my sword right down on top of it. So it tries to defend against him, and I catch the spider kind of where its right shoulders would be, right in between the body and the joint. Just crash my blade down and keep running. And I use a broadsword.
As you round the corner after having slashed this thing, you hit a door, And if you're in the same order you all have been in before, you hit this door kind of. Tell me what's going through your mind as you impact this door after breaking through so many of them so far.
As I round the corner and see the door, there's like a reprieve, a moment of thank God it's just a door. Thank God it's just another one of those doors. And I run towards it and kick it on the move, right in the center.
Make a bloodthirsty roll for me.
16?
And this one actually feels like, had you not been going at speed, you might not have made it through as the door bangs open but does not fall off its hinges, unlike many of the other ones so far.
Blam! Fuck you, door!
These creatures are skittering behind you.
I came rolling out fully equipped.
Yeah, they didn't bother to take any of your stuff away, oddly. So whatever
Sweet.
you had on you, you still have.
I'm just gonna start shooting arrows at them.
Awesome. Go ahead and make a bloodthirsty roll to hit.
10.
You shoot at them and they kind of dodge out of the way, but they do slow down and they're like, oh man, they have kind of skittered off to the side and are no longer pursuing you.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Do I need to keep track of ammo, or am I just like Legolas?
No, you should keep track of ammo.
Okay.
So, how much ammo did you write down?
Yeah, I had 20.
Okay, that's fine. I don't think you'll have to worry about it, but that's fine. Yeah, go ahead and keep track of ammo. But yeah, they've kind of skittered off to the distance, but you can now hear more and more chittering coming out of the hive also. What do you do?
Hurry!
And this time I didn't actually break the door off the hinges. We actually can close it behind us.
Yeah, there you go. I'll shake my head and solemnly say, Balthazar loved it when you knocked down doors.
Oh, Balthazar, that's right. He's the guy who created walls. Yes, earlier I was having a hard time recalling his name.
Oh, man. But yeah, so I guess we'll close the door behind us.
Yeah. You close it. You're in a large empty room that seems to have the far end breaking off down into a dark, inky black pool. And there is a pathway that leads off to your left and then hooks around the corner. What do you want to do?
That's
Oh,
obvious.
Thank God there's finally a room with no danger.
Rightly so, friend.
I'm gonna stick to the left path and go around.
I'll follow the tank.
Yeah, might as well.
Oh, he definitely jinxed it.
The whole chat is like, did you say a room with no danger? What are you doing? I know exactly what I'm doing.
So you hang around the edge of the thing. You come back into a room that has a number of bodies hanging from hooks, spread out on tables, suspended in oozing fluid, and generally arrayed in all different states of what looks like some sort of ritualistic preparation process.
That's where they make Oscar Mayer.
You know, old chap, I'm beginning to think they weren't sending us after flowers at all. This appears to be a one-way death mission.
Go and roll a d6 for me.
It is a 2.
Everybody roll a d6 for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. 1.
6.
Nice.
2. In the back of the room, you can see a shifting figure that is next to one of the slabs looking around. Like it's doing something back there.
I'm gonna hide.
Are you using the ability hide or are you just hiding? Yeah, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna use the ability.
Okay. I don't know anything about your new character, so I just wanted to make sure.
He's a level 3. What is it? Sneaky.
Sneaky. Yeah, so you hide.
I'll ready my mace.
Perhaps he knows where the flowers are. Excuse me, sir. Could I trouble you for a moment of your time? I'll walk along the path towards the rocks.
Be careful, Keith.
What? What are you doing here?
We're here looking for flowers.
Flowers? You can't.
Yes.
You can't have my flowers.
We're also looking for your mud, before I forget.
Why do you need my mud? Who sent you?
Oh, shit. We were sent by the ink bearers. The Inkwellsmen.
Never heard of them.
The ink rights.
Oh, the Inkrites, yes. Always after my prime soil for their dyes and their inks.
Yes, precisely. That's exactly what we're here for. So if you could just make like a good lad, pack everything up for us, and we'll be on our way.
No. I don't like. I spend too much time on. I mean, maybe some of the soil. I could probably part with it, but not my flowers. I spend too much time on them.
Right. How about one soil and one flower?
I'm trying to get behind this guy while all this is happening.
Yeah. So you're making your way along the room as all this is happening. Just kind of like darting between shadows. It's not super deep. It's about 30 feet deep. It's actually pretty narrow, but with all the stuff in there and with somebody taking his attention on your skills, you're able to kind of work your way that direction. No, I don't think any flowers. I already told you no.
All right, two.
It's
just
for a good cause, sir. 1/3 of the money received from this will go to charity.
No, I don't think I'm interested. And then he like takes off his apron, and you notice he's got like he looked fairly normal before, but he's got no shirt on, and 3 extra arms unfold out of his body. And he looks like a somewhat wiry old man. They do not. And there is just like you can see organs shifting around underneath the flesh of his stomach, and he says, "I think it's time for you to leave."
I don't know why I knew he was gonna have arms under there, but I knew he was gonna have chest arms. Something about the way you were talking, I was like, that guy has chest arms. Would he be considered some sort of unholy beast?
So, are you trying to trigger a certain ability and therefore are looking for specifically unholy things? So we did change the text of Smite.
Okay.
Because exactly the assumption you're making, which is a great assumption to make, but is problematic because it does 3 holy damage, not 3 damage against unholy things. And so we changed that. So in a situation where holy damage wouldn't do anything, it doesn't matter. However, no other spells have damage types, no anything else. Like you kind of assign it as you go. So it made sense to not limit that in the same way. So in the updated rules, it does just say 3 holy damage. So if you've been waiting to use Smite for that specific purpose, I apologize.
Oh,
Go ahead and use Smite.
This is the best opportunity yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to run forth at this unholy creature and yell, "You should have given to charity!" And then I shall smite him with my mace as it glows, and he sees behind me my god.
So when you smite, it's like I hit you with my mace, which does whatever physical damage it does, but then also you actually look into the eyes of my one god as they peek out over my shoulder, dealing you whatever level of damage you actually do. Excellent. I love it. It's still not going to do the 3 damage with your mace being the avatar for how it happens, but yes, you successfully smite him. And like you like this the mace hits him, like you can see like his eyes go wide and there's almost this burning like quality in them for a moment as whatever happens to him does it. He erupts in an angry and pained yell as all of a sudden like you see like large bone like prongs break out of the back of his body and stick up into the air. But y'all do have the drop on him. I'm gonna let y'all keep on going. Roll initiative after, because somebody else is also poised for a surprise action. So if somebody else wanted to act from the shadows, now
Back.
would be a good moment to do that.
Stab.
So you backstab him, which is going to do 3 damage, correct? Also,
I have to hit though, right?
no, you backstabs are automatic. So any abilities are automatic.
Yeah.
They're limited use per day, but you automatically execute them. So you just do 3 damage,
Nice.
which makes a maxed out thief super super deadly. You stag in, you actually like hit right next to one of these bones. Like you watch them, like you're sneaking up as these things erupt, like basically on either side of your head, and you bury your knife in the middle of his back. And again, you hear him yell in pain. And does Keith want to get on this at all, or is he just gonna emotionally support from a distance?
I am gonna get in on this. Actually, I'm just gonna stab him though. I'm not gonna use a skill. I just an old-fashioned sword stab.
Okay.
I forgot your name was Keith for a second, and then you said it.
You're like, who's a Keith?
Lost.
Like, you didn't even know the name of the new person who's with you. You didn't even introduce you. You're like,
No, I forgot
keep
to
on
ask.
going.
Yes, we call him Pinata.
Pinata.
21. I rolled
21. You absolutely hit. You see this, and all of a sudden, like he looks at Samir, and that bone prong that he just popped out of his back, he jams it down at you. Go ahead and make a defense roll. It's for Samir, Jonanon.
Oh, sorry. I thought it hit Gary.
Everybody's forgetting their own names.
4.
You are going to take 4 damage as this thing slices into your torso.
I am dead.
Y'all watch as Samir is shot through with this, and then his body slings off of the edge of this prong. Go ahead and somebody roll a d6 for me. Jonathan, if you want to make another character, feel free to. We'll figure out how to incorporate them in just 1 second.
D6 roll coming up hot. I rolled a 5.
All right, y'all have the initiative, so y'all are gonna get a chance to act again.
All right, my character is made.
Did you cross out the name and write Samir 2 on there?
No, it's better than that.
I will. I'm gonna run it back. I'm gonna stab this thing with the stabby.
All right,
Oh,
make your
that's
blood
good.
texture roll.
I rolled a big old fat 1.
The good news is there's not a significant like crit fail penalty in Down We Go. You are toe to toe with this thing, and obviously his next target. So that's the biggest concern. And so, you like hit him, and you like hit the ribs where everything's been shifting around, and you almost feel like it clinks against metal, like when it hits his chest. And this is like he was looking like this small little old man, and now has erupted into this giant bone and limb beast.
How dare you kill that poor religious man? Now I'll have to smite you, monster.
DM, you are still behind him. And what do you want to do?
I'm gonna use my last thing and backstab again.
Okay. So you backstab him, and you do another 3 damage. You hear him kind of erupt in anger again, and he's kind of torn, but you can tell like almost hesitant for a second to see like who does he do. And what he actually does is just like basically try to like spin, and he just punches you with 2 of his arms. Casualty, go ahead and make, or tries to with 2 of his arms. Keith, go ahead and make a dodge roll.
I rolled an 8, but I'm gonna use my ability armored and re-roll a defensive roll.
That sounds great. Great choice in this
Crit.
moment.
I rolled a crit that time.
20?
20.
Awesome. So like he rolls, and you kind of deftly like slide underneath the 2 of them, proving once again that you are not incompetent, as many have said. Jonathan, because you are ready, here's what I'll allow. There are tons of bodies in this room. They are in different states of where you don't want to be in the green stuff, so I'll tell you that.
What I have is way stupider than that.
Oh, great.
So
Go
much
ahead.
better. You guys hear the door slam shut, and you hear some footsteps as Balthazar, who was just sleeping, erupts from the back room and launches a pain bolt into this foul creature that has killed his friend.
I'll allow it because I love it. However, there will certainly be a narrative consequence to come.
I'll wipe some green sludge from dripping from my eye.
Did you write up a new Balthazar, or did you just ask DM for their
I
character
was
sheet?
originally gonna play a wizard, so I'm using that character sheet. But I'm just gonna say that I'm Balthazar.
It's so perfect. Absolutely excellent. Oh, sorry, incompetent user. I didn't mean to imply that there is anything wrong with being incompetent. And are you at level 3?
Yeah.
So pain bolt is a general use. It can be a flame bolt. It can be whatever. You pick what it is, right? You can just inflict pain also. What does it look like when you cast?
My eyes turn black, and his eyes turn black as we gaze into my dark, twisted past. And he takes emotional damage.
It's always emotional damage. He's like, I don't care about physical pain. What I want is this.
If you knew Jahan in real life, you would know that he does not care about physical pain, and he does like emotional
The
damage,
torment
so-
within is far worse than anything.
You hear him say, "No, not my flowers." Is that all 3 of you having acted this round with
Yes.
interrupting him? Excellent. Let's see. He's going to continue kind of that arc now. Go ahead and make a dodge roll for me. Dan's new character, whose name we never caught.
Pinata.
What is it?
Pinata.
Pinata.
It might as well be for now.
We got it right the first time.
That
Mike
would be
Shuckle. You rolled a what?
17 plus 3, 20.
Excellent. So you barely dodge out of the way as like razor sharp bone followed by a double back fist slides over your head. Now y'all also sense a stirring in a lot of the bodies around you. Specifically the ones in the green ooze, but some of the other ones seem to be shaking also.
Of course.
But it's your turn to act again.
We have to bring the beast down, Keith. Or I'm not the mighty Balthazar.
Bring the beast down. Easier done than said, my friend. And I'll slash at the monster again.
Okay.
Crit 20.
You are now behind it. As you bring your sword up, you actually watch like your sword connect in with the back of its, like where the spinal column connects to the head, and you watch the vertebrae like pop, and you actually watch the flesh seem like for a second it's trying to like knit back around the wound and put things back together before like the head just rolls forward.
My blade rings true, you monster son of a bitch, or my name's not Keith.
You and all of a sudden the green ooze is still kind of slowly moving the bodies that were in that, but all the other bodies kind of settle back down.
So, is it still coming at me, or is it collapsing?
No, its head popped off and the body slumped to the ground and the head rolled across the floor.
Oh, excellent.
New guy, perhaps you just keep an eye out for some flowers and we can get the hell out of here. We can call it square and evensies.
Sounds good, Ken.
Yes, let's go. Pinata. What an exotic name.
My name is Shiv.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Shiv. I am Balthazar, the one and only.
Balthazar, I can tell instantly that you're the most intelligent person I've ever met in my life.
This has been said to me many times every day of my life.
Balthazar, it's good to see you kicking again. Are we still on for the wall treatment back at my estate?
Of course. Although I have somehow forgotten how to cast that spell.
No surprise there. You always were squirrely and full of tricks.
Is Balthazar wearing lighter colored robes now also too?
Oh, I'm
as
wearing
reappeared
completely
as-
different stuff.
He's Balthazar the like light blue. Balthazar the chartreuse.
I'm gonna reach inside Samir's dead body and get our guiding light.
Okay.
Go in peace, my friend. I have decided to adopt your religion.
No!
I thought you said he was one of the smarter men you've ever met.
Now I'm suffering emotional damage.
I'll take his holy book as well so I can spread the good word of the one above all.
So you you collect all those items. You like you look down and like in this guy's hands, like again, like he's got like a belt on, he had the apron on. It's all like it's a lot of gardening equipment. Again, like this is like a little bit better repair than the previous stuff. Little Mr. bottle with red fluid in it. Pair of like very nice. You can't quite tell what metal it is. Shears that he looks like our garden shears, but also look like would cut through a bone pretty well. Also, it looks like, and he's got some sort of rod that looks like it's made out of human bone that has like eldritch symbols carved into it.
Ooh, I'm of the arcane persuasion. May I attempt to decipher such runes?
I don't give a shit what you do with that old piece of bone.
I want to try and read the runes.
You have 3 in mystical.
Yes.
You can tell that there's some. I mean, like you don't know exactly what they do necessarily, but you can tell that they, in some way, shape, or form, manipulate the structures of bones and flesh.
Oh, this might very well be the key to where we head. I'll pick
Doesn't
them
look
up.
like any key I've ever seen.
I shall pick them up and hopefully not grow chest arms.
You don't immediately grow chest arms now.
Because if I do, I'm okay with that.
The ooze bodies in the corner are starting to make their way towards you.
Let's get out of here.
Lead the way with that magical stick.
So this was kind of a room that you came back into. You go back out into that empty room. You've got the door that has all the spiders, creatures, and the hive on the other side of it. You've got a big empty black pool in front of you. You can kind of see on the looks like there's a set of like there's something weird about the stones that they're poking out of the water, and the water itself looks almost it's out of all the darkness that's been around you, out of all the black that you've seen, it's the stillest water that you've seen, and it's the darkest black of any water you've seen so far. Like you can actually almost perfectly see the roof above it reflected in the stillness of the pool.
This might be some sort of test or trap. Perhaps we don't see all that there is to see. I'm gonna try. I don't know. It looks. You said you can see it reflected in the ceiling, right?
You see the ceiling reflected in the water.
Okay.
Almost
Well, that's
perfect.
normal. I thought it was the other way around, which was special. Maybe.
I mean, are you over there looking at it?
Yeah, I'll look at it. I
Sure,
am the curious sort of chap.
Is anyone else over there looking at it?
I'll be near him.
As you look over, you can look up and you see Keith, and you can see the deepest desire of Keith's heart reflected in the pool of the water. What do you see as Keith's deepest desire?
Oh, what do I see as Keith's?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds like his father's approval. So it'll just be his dad patting him on the back.
All right. Keith, are you able to see into the water?
Yeah, sure. I'll step up and look inside. What are you looking at there, old chap?
And
Oh,
you look
no.
up and you can see Balthazar's deepest desire.
Yes.
Balthazar, he's standing at the edge of a town, and he's holding the holy book, and he looks down, and he looks back at the town, and he just looks out at the horizon ahead of him, and I see him set out to begin his life as a wandering clergyman.
Giving up the ways of the arcane knowledge for the ways of the one true God above.
That's exactly right.
Excellent.
This was the other reason I took the character, so I could do whatever. Haha! Take that, your creation.
Just crapping on his one-shot creation for no reason.
So, yeah, like I said, you come over and like other than the fact like that you can see these odd things in this stillness, like the only other odd thing about this is the stones, which look like they're almost spaced to be able to be walked out on.
Well, don't mind if I lead the way. 1, 2, hopscotch for you. 3, 4, to the door.
Make a sneaky roll to see if you can make it across, because they are small. They look like they're designed to be walked on, but they are very
I've rolled an 18.
excellent. So you make your way across, and you notice as you get over that there's actually, like, as you get to the far end of the pool, that you can see that there's a way up and over into a small little tunnel.
All right, up we go.
You draw yourself up, and it's a very tight, very small space, but it's wide enough for you to crawl on your hands and knees through. Y'all kind of watch Keith walk across and then like scurry up into the ceiling and disappear from view.
Oh no, Keith! My bestest friend! I shall save you, and I'll hop across the stones.
Pinata, what are you up to?
Yeah.
I look around, noticing that I'm alone now, and I shrug and follow along.
Oh, Balthazar, go ahead and make a sneaky roll for me to see if you make it across the...
I got a 15!
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. And then Pinata, go ahead and make a sneaky roll for me.
A 15 as well.
And since everybody was gone, no one gets to know what Pinata's deepest, darkest desire was, which may just be to be called by his actual given name. But we'll never know. So you guys crawl through this scrub. All of a sudden, you find yourself in a. Go ahead and pop the map up again for me. Make the mappy big.
Boom! Mappy big.
Mappy big. You find yourself in what like kind of positioned above a small pool of water, and you can either drop down like on the edge of the pool, or most of the edge of this tunnel actually drops straight into it. So it's a little bit of a difficult land as you come out. But if you take your time, it's not hard to drop down onto the ledge next to the pool.
And this is in 13, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure that I'm envisioning this correctly. I guess. Hey, Keith! I thought you were gone.
No, just simply wandering through a corridor far too small for me.
Well, you or me first?
You know, I'm gonna let you take this one.
Okay. Shiv, did you look into the pool?
No.
It's what a shame. It was quite revealing. I shall go forth. I'll swing on down, taking my time.
Okay. As you get down to the edge of the pool, as you're stepping down, you look in the pool and you see a moment of the greatest loss you have ever experienced. What is that moment?
Balthazar's?
Yep.
The greatest loss of Balthazar. I'm gonna relive the moment of my death and the consequent resurrection, where I came back as a soulless beast, and I shall realize my true nature, and I shall weep a little.
Wow, that's yeah. I think losing your soul could absolutely fit the grade there. All right, cool. Keith, you taking
Yeah.
your time or you hurrying down?
I'll take my time. Come down nice and easy.
Cool. As you step on the ledge, you make eye contact with this dark black pool. You re-experience the moment of the greatest loss of your life. What is it?
It was Christmas morning. I was only 14 years of age, and I was walking back upstairs with my favorite Christmas gift. I tripped, and it fell from the tower walls and shattered far, far below. And that platter that broke, it was full of porridge, my favorite porridge. So I lost my favorite meal and my favorite platter that day. It's a moment I think of now every day, thinking back, if only things could be the way they were.
Excellent. Dan, how about Shiv? How are they coming down?
He's definitely sneaky, so pretty carefully.
Awesome. You land and you make eye contact with the pool. Tell me what you see.
He sees his former adventuring party, the one that knew his name.
Excellent. So you all make it down. You just gonna step past this pool, and you see there's a tunnel kind of leading off behind you. This is a rough-hewn area, not the same polished stone, but also you don't sense any sort of necessarily liquid until you make it a little ways further, and then as you go further, you still notice that there's no as you step down, you see there's a rough-hewn path to your left, and then ahead you can kind of see the liquid of the kind of water that you came in, that same kind of brackish reddish liquid up ahead.
Careful, Keith. Liquid.
Yes, I see the liquid. We've been in liquid the entire time, Balthazar. Thank you. Thank you for your astute observation.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. To the left, then, my friend. What do you think, Shiv? What thinks thy? That's not how you're supposed to talk, but...
Well, you are the smartest person I've ever met, so to the left.
It
Yeah,
has
yeah.
been said often.
To the left, to the left.
Yeah,
As you make your way down this rough-hewn hallway, you go about 25 feet, and then you come upon a door. This one is locked with a heavy padlock on the outside of it. What do you do?
A lock. If only we knew someone. Are you good at picking locks, Keith?
Hell yes, my family's been picking locks for generations.
Excellent. I do happen to have a lock pick, but
I
I
kicked
do
the
not have the
door.
skills required to operate it.
I kick the door as hard as I can.
Cool. Make a bloodthirsty roll for me.
I don't know why I forgot about how
Crit!
you handle doors.
Another crit! Give me that 23! Give me that crit door, baby! Come on! Fuck this door! Get doors out of my face!
Of all time.
The dice don't lie. It knows how you feel about doors.
I was like, I've been making the doors incrementally harder to knock down, and it hasn't mattered. It was like, he's got to crit this one, or it doesn't knock down. You all of a sudden like burst through, and there's a what at first looks like a lump of flesh with a blanket laid over the top of it, until you realize it's someone who's just been beaten and bruised and had their body probably somewhat manipulated to appear to be this almost squishy, soft lump of humanity. They're have kind of a doughy and soft appearance, almost no hair, very light eyebrows, just a few different wisps, and they hello.
Sorry to bother you. We're looking for flowers. Are they in here?
I don't need anything. Just I promise I'll behave. I won't do anything. Don't worry.
No, listen to me. We're here to find flowers. Do you know if they're here in this room?
We're not supposed to take the flowers. No one can take the flowers. I won't take the flowers. I promise.
Right, okay. Where are the flowers?
I tried, but I promise I won't do it again.
All right, I don't think there's any flowers in here, boys. And I'm step out and close the door.
I'll stop you from closing the door. Perhaps they know of where to find the flowers. It does seem to be the case.
Well, you can try talking to them. I'm a bit of an expert in diplomacy, and they didn't tell me any damn thing.
The pathway does continue forward in this direction also, too.
I will attempt to tell this creature of the strength that can come from giving in to faith.
I love how wise Balthazar is all of a sudden become.
I'm trying to save people, otherwise I will be damned.
I just want to go home. I came here. I was told to get a flower, and I don't know how long it's been, and I don't need the flower anymore. I just need to go home.
If you help us find the flower, we will help you find your way home.
I mean, there's somewhere around here. I don't even really know where I am anymore. It's been so long. And so, Keith, did you keep on going down the hallway?
No, I'm just still waiting here for the end of this shit show.
I mean, there's somewhere in here, but I mean, like, I don't even want to have anything to do with them. I just want to leave.
Well, then be free.
Okay. And he kind of like limps out into the hallway. Like, he's obviously been like bruised. His body has been, it's very like his bone, like he looks like his bones have been like reduced in size. He's moving very gingerly. Like this person has been traumatically abused by someone, potentially someone dead. And so
put in a good word for me with God, please.
Okay.
And then
he's gonna just like lean in the hallway. Like, Keith, as you're out there in the hallway, you start to smell like that strawberry smell gets stronger and stronger and stronger.
Am I the only one who's suddenly craving strawberries?
I am not. What about you, Shiv? Or do you prefer pinata?
It doesn't matter anymore.
Here. It's all the same to me. I wasn't going to bother learning your name anyways.
So it curves back around the other direction that you came, or it keeps on going and kind of turns around. And it seems like that smell is coming from down the hallway in the way you haven't traveled yet.
I guess let's continue the road untraveled, huh?
Absolutely.
It's the only place we haven't looked, is where we haven't been.
You make your way down in about another 30 feet. And again, that smell's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And again, you come into a room and you can tell that there's actually like what looks almost like natural sunlight erupting in the ceiling down into this room. And all of a sudden you're surrounded by the reddest roses you've ever seen. The thorns themselves and the stems are actually red. It is impossible to describe how like almost liquid and vibrant the color of red that the petals of these do. It looks almost as if you touch them, as if your hand would pass straight through them, almost as if that they were blood. And so but you see this room filled with roses, with a kind of obelisk in the middle with a kind of a translucent jewel set into it.
Some of the residual polymorph potion that's in my blood is going to turn my head slightly bird-like for half a second. As I said, I knew we should have followed your nose. And then I'm going to move towards the obelisk.
Okay.
So
as you make your way through the obelisk... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I turn to Keith and say, these the flowers you're looking for?
Yes, I believe we are looking for some red flowers, and these flowers are quite red. The last red flowers we were looking for pulled a friend of mine, Balthazar, and killed him. So maybe someone else grabs the flowers, and I'll just.
I was gonna say, Balthazar, as you're making your way forward, you've got to kind of push through these rose bushes as you're going. Go ahead and make a sneaky roll for me to see how well you do kind of passing through the thorns.
14.
Okay. You're able to get up to that light in the middle. I mean, that obelisk in the middle.
So beautiful. I'm gonna reach for it.
Okay. You reach for it and you grab the kind of clear jewel on the top.
Yeah.
And you pull it off. Where's the place that you are most fond of in the world, Balthazar?
I have an inkling that it's probably a brothel. That was the vibe I was getting.
All of a sudden, that's the vibe I was getting when DM was playing this character. Was like, that guy likes brothel.
That guy likes
That's so good to put that on him.
And so, as you grab it, you all of a sudden find yourself in your favorite room at your favorite brothel. It takes you a second to realize you're not there. You're just seeing there. Everybody else, the light around in the room shifts to a soft, kind of red, flickering, almost like a fire place or a lantern with a shade drawn over it. But the bright light that had filled the room is gone, and all of a sudden you can see the flowers are starting to wilt and die around you.
Oh no.
But I only see the inside of a brothel.
You only see the inside of the brothel.
Well, I mean, I don't give a shit about the flowers, so.
Balthazar, are you all right there, friend?
Can I hear him?
You hear him, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. You want to go halvesies?
It's on watch. Does that jewel got you enamored in some way?
I mean, something does.
Right then, I'm gonna walk over and put my foot on your shoulder and like kick you over carefully.
Oh no.
You feel the press of thorns into your back. Do you hold on to the thing or not? The jewel?
I mean, it's the kind of thing that you want to hold on to, right? It's compelling in a way.
No, I mean, you could absolutely let go. I mean, it is because it's your favorite spot in the world, but that's just where your mind jumped to. Just as a whatever, for anybody who's watching, for y'all also. So the Loris loot thing, this is a question I'd asked one of you at the very beginning. What's the item that you want that's in here? Which is really funny because it happened to be Balthazar, but Balthazar was being played by a different character at that point in time.
I forgot about that.
And so you have just discovered the Archmage's crystal that was also channeling sunlight into this room using its ability to draw light and images from far away. And when you grabbed it, it no longer is, and that sunlight was what was sustaining these roses. So, all of that said, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, you feel these kind of press into your back. You don't take any damage, but make a D20 plus mystical roll for me.
Man, you're not gonna believe that I actually rolled it, but I rolled a 20.
That's
My
great.
man.
I
Yeah,
did.
you feel them kind of scratch across your back. It's not pleasant. It's pretty painful. You didn't take significant damage though. Well, yeah, what do you do?
So I guess I know what this thing that I'm holding is. Like, oh, of course, I am beguiled. And I'm gonna try and conjure forth the image of sunlight once again from a sunny place.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
So-
try and cast it about the room.
Sure. So yeah, you think about a sunny place, and the light picks back up, and all of a sudden the decay slows, but it isn't as bright as it was before, and you can't figure out exactly, like, the brightest place you could think of wasn't as bright as wherever the light was being drawn from. So essentially, these flowers are starting to wilt. So you just need to try to figure out a way to preserve them.
Oh, I'm the mystical guy. Yeah, we could put it in an emulsion.
Okay.
Perhaps some of this jar of slime that I gathered before dying.
Excellent. So you take these, and are you just going to pick one and put them in the jar of slime?
Yeah.
Are you just pulling it off, or what are you doing?
I'm gonna use the shears from the multi-armed man, the tender of this garden.
As soon as you cut it, you watch the decay on the flower slow and stop, like the one that you cut.
Ooh. I do that out loud. If you cut them, they stay good and crisp. I actually feel like I kind of realize why. They're wilting because they're drawing, something's drawing their energy. And when I cut them off, I'll try to look where the roots are going.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So yeah, you track the roots down, and you notice that the dirt around the base of every single root of these roses, like where the root structure is, has turned the same kind of bright red. However, it looks almost like it's, rather than it leaching nutrients out, it looks like it's leaching nutrients down. So it almost looks like the roots are pulling more and more of the nutrients down into the soil.
Interesting. You guys see anything below us? I'll start looking. We need some of this soil too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got the flour. What about you guys?
You know, I did bring a bag of sand. I suppose I could dump this out and just fill it with some soil. Do you think that's the soil they're talking about right there, that these flowers are in?
I do think so. I wouldn't use your hand, though. Here, take this shovel that I don't have because I'm a different character now.
Oh,
Damn.
don't worry. I picked up a shovel and a bucket earlier once we reached that gardener's closet. I'll fill my bucket that I acquired with some of the dirt with my shovel.
Well, yeah, you get it in there. It's not a roll. You just dig up some dirt.
Well, I got what I came for. I'll wiggle the sight stone of the wizard king. I'm ready to go.
I believe I got what I came for.
What about you, Shiv? Did you get what you came for?
And I'm here.
You're able to make your way back around and out and dodge the spiders and other items very easily. There is one more obstacle. I just need everybody to roll a d6 to see if it shows up or not for me. So everybody go ahead and roll a d6.
5.
Ooh.
No, y'all are able to maneuver back through without much consequence. There are a couple moments. At one point Keith falls in the water again, almost sucks a whole bunch of it in. But you're able to, using the light to guide you, very quickly navigate back to the quickest way out. You make your way in your boat. How are you, with no sail, going to get back up the river?
With the pole, I guess, huh?
So are you going to hug the shore? Is that what you're saying on the way back up?
I guess we'd have to, huh?
You can't get out in the middle of it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. It is exhausting and takes a long time. Everybody make a bloodthirsty roll for me. Or anyone
19!
who's helping.
20, 17 plus 3.
13.
You actually all are able to work together pretty well in order to get it happen to rotate through. Shiv, having been, stuck in a spider's web for, a week or so, as part of the preservative preparation process, has a little bit harder go of it, but you're able to make it back up. And when you get back, there's somebody waiting for you, Keith. You're like, I got you something.
Oh, well, all right.
Yeah. Right here. Go ahead. Here you go. He hands you like a box.
Oh, hell yes. This must be that terrifying beast I was talking about.
Yeah. Go ahead and take a peek inside.
Right, how much do I owe you for this?
It's like, it was like 200 gold pieces, so only 199 more.
I tell you what, I've got 100 on me. You can take it and skedaddle.
Oh no, I'll just keep this then. Never mind. He disappears into the crowd.
Damn! My one chance at a dangerous beast.
You make your way back to the Inkrites. There's a whole host of things. Everybody roll a D6 to see what type of treasure, what type of gifts they have for each of you.
Got it, 2.
6.
2, 6.
Does Shiv get something?
Shiv is going to get something, yes, because I mean
Okay.
they don't remember who they sent. You're just like, it's just another body.
A 6.
A 6. So they give you for those who rolled incredibly high, they give you for those who rolled 6s, they give you parchment and paper that has there's like it's like a set of papers. It's 5 different pieces of paper. Each one of them has a different magical, far communicating quality to them. One of them you can like fold into a paper airplane and like throw it to the sender that you want to, and it'll go there with whatever message you have on it. 2 of them are like walkie-talkies where you can write on one and it appears on the other. They're very cool things. And then he turns to Balthazar, and they go, "We have an unpaid internship. It's mostly getting coffee and emptying chamber pots, but it's yours if you want it."
I think I'll pass.
He looks shocked because after all these years of you wanting to enter the Inkrites, now you're passing up on the opportunity.
Yeah, but
and
now
they
my
look-
passion is using this magic viewing stone to stare at feet.
And that's the last thing we see. You say, "No, I've got better things to do," and you hold it up, and everybody zooms in, and we zoom through it, and it's just you looking at feet, like, and everybody's weirded out, and that's the end.
That's called
the bone,
that's called a character
the
arc.
Bone Turner's Bog. Using Down We Go.
Yeah, that was awesome. This is Tony's game. At +1 EXP, Down We Go, available on GameFound now. The link is in the chat. You can go to ttrpg.link/DWGfresh to use our code to go ahead and get you some of this sweet hot game action.
Sweet hot game.
Tony, you did a great job leading us. We appreciate having you here. You're an awesome guest of the show, and of course, friend of us in real life, friend of the show, and friend of real life.
And great to meet Dan. Sorry for what I did to your character.
I feel like it was deserved. So
I couldn't help myself. I saw an opportunity.
The best resurrection. We have yet to. This is the first time, as far as I know, that anybody has been like, "No, I'm the character who just died before." I'm sure there's some sort of horrible. Like you probably don't have a soul anymore. You're probably slowly decaying as you watch feet through that.
You know,
Yeah.
slowly decaying as we watch feet is basically all of our existence every day, isn't it? We're all slowly decaying as we watch feet.
What a description of the downtrodden. But yeah, so it's been great. Do you have anything you want to plug, Tony?
Yeah, yes, I would love for people to go to ttrpg.link/DWG fresh to back and support the game. So we funded on day one. We have a ton of great contributors, a ton of great collaborators. There's a couple cool things. So every time we lap our basic funding goal, which is $4,500, we're going to pay people a little bit more. And I want to stress, like, it's a little bit, but it's a little bit at a time more, because we think when the game is doing better, that we should pay contributors better. But we've got a global team of people who help contribute to the game. Dan is one of them. He was one of the stretch goals. We're super excited to be working with all these different people. I'm the developer for the game, so Marcus Linderum is a Swedish designer. This is his first game. It's so easy to pick up and play. You guys watched also as characters died, and then like 30 seconds later, people were like, "Okay, my next character is ready." It's incredibly easy to do, to hop in, to play. I don't try to kill people, but I've killed more people in Down We Go than I've killed in any other system I have ever run. Because there are monsters that do, like, most monsters do 1 hit point, but bosses do tend to have like 2 to 5 hits that they do, so it is very easy for them to just like one hit kill. And for a lot of RPGs, people aren't used to. No, you probably want to save the let's light them on fire until you're fighting the big bad boss, and just throw the oil in and run away, and come back 15 minutes later when they're dead. So I'm a huge fan of OSR. We play this on our stream all the time. Whenever we have a module somebody's brought in that doesn't have a system, we'll pick up down, we go and do it. Just having played it over and over again became really easy. We just passed another stretch goal last night, which is a postcard that pits the factions in the city, like the Inkrites or the Sinuous Reels or the Seal Clubbers or the Dirt Lickers, against 3 of them against each other, and your party is caught in the middle and has to figure out who they want to make happy, who they want to make not so mad, and who they're just going to piss off. All of those things, all the core rules fit on one single sheet. It's very easy to learn and play. All the rest of the things we're funding for, the almost 70 pages it's now going to end up being, they are really more dungeons, more things to run through. And the best thing is each of the dungeons, you can run through them over and over again. You could go back to a different bog and have a very different experience, because they would be different sights, sounds, smells. Even with the exact same map, what you would find in there would be keyed very differently. And we found players who will go down into like the tomb or the tower or other places over and over again and love the different experience they have every single time. But there's a ton more adventures. There's things like hex crawls. The rules for how you engage with factions and other stuff like that are in there. You don't have to use any of that, but it's all there. So if somebody wants to do a one-shot or play a campaign, they can. And if they want to go into a different plane of reality or existence, Dan and Sarah have made that a possibility also.
Yeah, that's how we opened up today. Was Tony told us that, and I was like, "Damn, we got the guy who invented the planes for the game right here, and we're not going to do any planar travel today. Son of a bitch! Now we have to do it again and come back."
Yeah. So please, we'd love to come back on and play some other time. Dan, give us a sampling of some of the ways you can, some of the places you can find a portal.
Ooh, let me pull it up. Let's see.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're actually looking into a planar setting now, in the threefold setting in modern age.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested. I always like seeing how people do planes.
Well, if you like seeing how people do planes, you should go to planarcompass.com and check out Planar Compass Volume 1 and pre-order Planar Compass Volume 2 if you can.
Yes.
Pre-order it, yeah, but I'm hoping it'll be for sale within the next month.
There we go.
I'm hoping your planar
It's the
compass.
best hype man I've ever had.
The best what?
The best hype man I've ever had.
Yeah, Tony's a great hype man.
And if you want to check out a really great advent calendar review channel that isn't really an advent calendar review channel, it's just a TTRPG designer who really loves Bon Maman jelly and gets their advent calendar as soon as they can every year. Check out the other team member from Planar Compass, Sarah's advent calendar review Instagram, which is really just about eating jelly for the most part.
Do you guys want to roll on the table?
Yeah.
Okay. One of you roll 2d6.
I'll do it.
I already did it if you want me to have done it.
Oh, you do it then.
5
I got
and
enough.
3.
So you got an 8. So yours is a simple, unassuming wardrobe.
Aw, man. I was trying to go to Narnia, and I'm stuck here with these goats.
I got a 7.
A 7 is a shimmering vertical oval of color. So Tony, you get to roll on the color table. Roll me a
1d6.
Yeah.
I got a 3.
It is the color of a summer field.
My portal that I rolled a 2.
It is the mouth of a gargantuan beast.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! Now we're talking. So that's just a few of the flavors you could get.
Yeah. My favorite entry point is the bottom of a sack of grain. No, I would any support people want to give us. If you go using the link ttrpg.link/DWG/DWG then we'll know that you saw us on the stream or that our friends here at Fresh Out the Box. I told you here's why that can be really helpful. I'm not going to give them anything. except for the information on how many people backed because they heard about it here. And that can be really helpful for them in the future if they want to have other people come on and do stuff to be able to know, hey, when people come and watch, here's how many people went and backed this other campaign. It's a great tool for them to be able to go to people like Modifius, like Green Ronin, like all the other folks that y'all love to play with. Be like, hey, here's why it would be good to partner with us on your next campaign, and let's just give them that. So I will give them the information.
That's
so
definitely a good
support
research tool. And we do appreciate it.
please do. Yeah.
Speaking of Green Ronin and Modifius, that's what Jahan and I are partnering to do right now. That's what we're working on. Follow us every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and every other Saturday. Every Wednesday, we are going to switch to Dune by Modifius Entertainment. Right now, we're closing out our Savage Worlds Deadlands campaign. Every Thursday is Thursdage, where we play our favorite Green Ronin Age game. Right now, we're working on The Expanse. Soon to come, Modern Age every other Friday, and also indie games and board games on Fridays. We have a crazy schedule lined up. We
do
have
have a crazy schedule. We're all
next
booked
week.
up.
Next week on Friday, Alan Barr will be here, indie game developer and publisher with his new game Airs. We'll be showing that off. The following weekend, we will be meeting with Malcolm from Green Ronin. He's going to explain the Age system to us. He's actually the guy who created Modern Age, so he's that designer developer. We're going to be walking through the Age books and just talking Age that night. The following Friday, we're going to kick off our Age series, and the one after that, Toxic Lords of the Neon Wastelands, another indie tabletop game. So we have weeks and weeks and weeks of things scheduled for you guys. Please follow, like, and then catch our podcast, Fresh Out the Podcast. That one's on Spotify, Podbean, and Apple Music. We talk entertainment, TV shows, movies, comics, games, toys, collectibles, and everything else. So
if they want to get their hands on some of those hot, fresh Green Ronin products, what can we do for them, Gary?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. If there are people out there that would like to win some Expanse bundles, well, tune into our Expanse shows. You can win a player bundle or a GM bundle. But if you just can't wait to win, Jahan, if you just gotta buy something like Mutants and Masterminds or Modern Age, well, I think we have a fresh out the box 5% off code now, don't we?
We do indeed. It's in the chat. greenroninstore.com/discount/fresh-out-the-box. You get 5% off anything you purchase, everything you purchase using that code. And you also support us at the same time financially. So click that button. But yeah, always happy to have you, Tony. You're such a great friend of the show, such a great friend. It's such a good DM. I'm always taking notes when I watch you run, sir. And this game is very fun. I love this just hot, fresh action. You know, it's just very quick, easy to get. It's very accessible. And that's important to get people into this hobby, to keep them here. And it's just nice to be able to pull something like this out and run at any given time. But yeah, make sure to follow Tony on Twitch at +1EXP. Make sure to follow Dan at B3L7 on Twitter. And check out planarcompass.com and at Planar Compass on Twitter as well. And I think that's it for us. Thanks for being here. Thanks, everybody. Anybody had anything else they wanted to say? Everybody's good. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for being here.